into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome back.
Oh, it is
Put
so
there.
good to
Sister,
be
put it
back
there,
with my
brother.
favorites.
Boom.
There we go.
Oh, I love you and I hate you at the same time. It must have been awesome. We're going to catch up on your whole experience. How was it? Was it cool?
Listen, it was everything and more. It was unbelievable. Probably hands down the best trip I've ever been on.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That's
yes.
saying a lot.
Sure. Well, we saw the Insta stories and the coverage. It looked
cool.
amazing.
No, it was really, really
Wow.
cool.
No, we
It's
missed
just
you.
unlucky
It's
for
good to have you
Liverpool
back.
fans.
Come on, man. Don't go there. Don't go there.
No, we won't.
Listen,
got an
let's
awesome
get into
show,
what
yeah.
you can expect. It is a Wednesday. It's a reason to smile as well, the middle of the week. So in your tech news this morning, I don't use Snapchat, okay? I don't know, I don't understand
Those
it.
filters are the
But
coolest.
yeah, there's a brand new filter talking about that, a lens that reacts to sound. So I'm going to figure out how that works, and maybe it'll convert myself and Graham to kind of...
They're going to do something, man. And then, of course, I take a little time out to explore the foodie destinations right on our doorstep. I ate a lot, man. Not so much, but it was so good. You're going to love it.
And we
Is that where
have
you came
so
in a
many.
food coma?
It really was. Yeah.
Literally.
And then this morning, she walked into wardrobe like, wow, you are gorgeous. Liz Ogumbo is with us on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and she's performing for you, so do not miss out
It was
on
more like,
her performance.
wow.
Yeah.
She is beautiful. And then I have the rare pleasure, and you would have loved it, dude. I played it cool. I'm
sure you
Eva
did,
Longoria.
yeah.
And was like, oh my word. She is so awesome. She's also expecting. She's glowing. She was amazing. It's so cool to chat to. We, of course, getting into Overboard, the new comedy coming out. Chat to her and Manny Rodriguez. I had so much fun with him. It was too cool, man.
Can't wait to see that,
so
man.
cool.
Thank you very much for choosing to
awesome.
start your day with us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's SABC3. Let's get your morning underway. Good morning, Leanne. Here's the news.
Good morning, team. Welcome back, Zoe, and a very good morning to you at home. Let's get you updated on what's happening all around the country. In the national news this morning, the National Assembly has passed a series of labour bills, including the contentious National Minimum Wage Bill, which has been described by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant as a historic achievement and a first since the dawn of South Africa's democracy. The other two are the Basic Conditions of Employment Amendment Bill and the Labour Relations Amendment Bill. Oliphant said the legislation would address the working conditions of South Africa's labour force. The bills will now be sent to the National Council of Provinces for concurrence. The Electoral Commission of South Africa, known as the IEC, says it is not preparing for an early election, but that it is on track to hold an election in mid-2019 when the current term ends. The IEC appeared before Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs yesterday to present its readiness for next year's election, constitutionally due to be called between May the 8th and the 11th of August. Rumours of an early election started after an ANC National Executive Committee meeting had debated the possibility of bringing it forward. Now moving further abroad, a man killed 2 female police officers and a civilian in the Belgian city of Liège yesterday. The gunman also took a female cleaner hostage at a school before being killed by police. Police said the man was heard shouting Allah Akbar, which is God is great in Arabic. The man attacked the police officers from behind with a knife before taking a gun from them. He then shot dead a 22-year-old man who was in a parked car before he briefly took a member of a nearby school staff hostage. And then finally, at least 10 people have been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamist militants, officials say. Children are reported to be among the victims in Monjane village in the Cabo Delgado province, which is a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Of late, an Islamist militant group has carried out several sporadic attacks in the region. It's believed to be making millions of dollars from selling timber and rubies. Known locally as Al-Shabaab, the group was formed in 2015 as a religious organization. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Let's get our very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
We kick it off with local football this morning, and I think, as expected, Mamelodi Sundowns striker Percy Tau was named the 2017-2018 Footballer of the Season last night at the Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton. Tau finished the season with 16 goals in all competitions as he helped his side claim their 8th PSL title overall and 3rd in 5 years. In other categories, Pitso Mosamane won the PSL Coach of the Season, while Itumeleng Kune was named PSL Goalkeeper of the Season. Then staying with football, Black Leopards could seal their promotion to the Premier Soccer League today if they manage to beat Jomo Cosmos in their PSL playoff showdown. So after a win and 2 draws so far, Leopards sit comfortably at the top of the playoff table with 5 points, while second place Cosmos are on 2 after 2 draws. Today's game kicks off at the Toyando Stadium at 3 o'clock. And staying with the beautiful game, Mozambique jumped up to second place in Group A of the CASAFA Cup thanks to an emphatic 3-0 win over Comoros in Polokwane last night. After a 2-1 loss to Madagascar in the opening round, last night's dominant victory takes Osmambas to second in the group on 3 points with 1 group game left to play. In yesterday's other match, Madagascar and the Seychelles shared the points in a 1-1 draw. Then finally on to tennis, Serena Williams marched on to the second round at Roland Garros yesterday thanks to a straight sets win over Kristina Pliskova. Making her first appearance at a Grand Slam since winning the 2017 Australian Open, Williams was pushed all the way as she saw out a 7-6, 6-4 win. Also in action yesterday, South Africa's Kevin Anderson breezed into the second round with a 3-0 win over Paolo Lorenzi. We'll touch on those headlines again in a half hour. Let's get a scope of today's weather.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Let's quickly take a look at your weather and your temperatures for the first time on your Wednesday morning, and it looks like most parts of the country can expect a nice and chilly start for the Wednesday, reaching mild maximum temperatures later on today. Polokwane 9 a minimum with a maximum of 24 degrees, Mbombela 12.22, Pretoria 9.21, Johannesburg 7.20, Mahikeng 11.24, Klerksdorp on 8 minimum reaching a high of 22, Kimberley 6.19, Bloemfontein nice and cold 3 degrees minimum reaching a high of 18, Richards Bay 16.22, Pietermaritzburg 6 and a high of 18, Durban 15.22, Mthatha 5.19, East London 13.22, Cradock starting off on 2 degrees minimum reaching a high of 20, Port Elizabeth 11.21, George 9.19, Sutherland nice and cold -2 reaching a cold maximum of 12 degrees, Cape Town 12.16, Worcester 6.16, Springbok on 3 minimum reaching a high of 17, and Uppington starting off on 5 warming up to 22 degrees later on today. That's a wrap of your weather for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of your morning. I'm back just after 6:30 with another look.
Well, we live in a world that is constantly changing, and isn't life just getting so much faster by the day? So why don't we just slow it down, take a look at today, the 30th of May, and also what happened in history on this day.
It all rhymes, it all rhymes. Well, listen, back in 1967, Robert Evel Knievel jumped over a whopping 16 automobiles on his motorcycle, and that's after this stunt, he went on into attempting 75 more stunts.
Crazy!
Evel Knievel.
Ay, ay, ay. And then in 1979, Ted Coombs roller skated from Los Angeles all the way to New York City. Now, I think that that's pretty far, right?
That's very far.
The cross-country journey was to protest the 1979 energy crisis. And then on the 13th of September, after 4 months of skating, he finally broke the world distance record for skating in one day, non-stop, for 139.121 kilometers.
He must have had some killer legs after that skating session.
On fire after that.
And then in 1976, in Formula One, Bobby Unser set a world record for the fastest pit stop lasting only 4 seconds. And this record was beaten when in 2016, the Williams team for Felipe Massa cut that time down by more than half when they completed a pit stop in just 1.92 seconds, making it the fastest F1 pit stop ever.
I didn't know pit stop could be that quick.
Seconds. That's crazy.
Amazing. Well, that is our bite-sized dose of what happened on this day in history. Go out there, seize the day, and make it one for the books.
Look at those two beautiful ladies,
Lucky man.
Awesome stuff. What a way to start your day. Welcome back, Zoe, once again. We're going to be taking a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're focusing on the importance of a healthy diet and what that means for your child's brain development. Something very, very important to focus on.
And we're going to see how your brain is working this morning. Play our favorite emoji charades game. Are you up for the challenge? Well, stick around. We'll see you now.
Join Afternoon Express today, live at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3, as we focus on health and wellness. High blood pressure is known as the silent killer, and it's said that 1 in 3 adults in South Africa suffer from the condition. And today we unpack the risks, symptoms, and treatment. We're also joined by medical researcher Sue Visser, author of the Illustrated Guide to Healthy, Happy Eating for All Blood Types. That's Afternoon Express, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Let's go to the socials this morning and see what it's all about. It seems to be a foodie situation right here in terms of our pictures. And we have food on the brain today. We want to know from you, what meal from around the world would you love to try one day? Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Ivana says, good morning, team. I hope we'll be able to make curry and roti, and that is the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, all right. Portia says sushi. There's another sushi. Pearl says it's cold in Brits. Thank you, Paul. Ramakona says sushi and prawns. Nathan says, I don't know, but it has to be dessert. And Rafida says, yes, sushi is something I want to try as well. Very, very interesting. Let us know. We want to know from you, what meal from around the world would you like to try one day? Keep us informed. Oh yes, let's get into what we're doing next on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This morning, Nikki Bush is joining us to talk about the importance of a healthy diet and how that affects your child's brain.
Right, so good nutrition is essential for good brain function in our children. We know this. Now, this morning we chat to our creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, about how we can use food to help our children cope better in the classroom. Nikki, always lovely to hang out with you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So off the bat, why do you feel that this is a talk-worthy topic?
Well, Ewan, our children are extremely busy, and being busy at school, sport, cultural activities after school takes up a huge amount of energy. And remember, they're not as big as us. Their tummies are a whole lot smaller. And that means that they need regular intake of good, nourishing food and fluid to keep them going, to give them the energy to expend on all these new learning activities, as well as growth, as well as repair and immunity. And it starts with us in the home.
Absolutely. So let's take an example here. What would you say are kind of the signs and symptoms of not good nutrition? If you take a look at some, maybe a kid that has not been fed the right kind of things and going about their day-to-day tasks.
So we see this a lot in schools today, that children are distracted, they're fidgety, they are irritable, and they're very, very sleepy and inattentive. So they don't have the energy to cope with concentration. And concentration is important. You know, once they get into primary school, they're needing to concentrate in the first year or two for 20 minutes at a time, and ultimately for 30 minutes at a time. That's a long time to stay focused. And in order to do that, we need to give them the reserves to draw from so that they can actually hold that focus and that attention.
And that's why it's so important to make sure that all the correct food groups are introduced. And this is something that I'm very passionate about. Even though my two youngsters, they're still very, very young, you know, so they put up quite a fight with some of the foods that we put in. But it is, at the end of the day, up to us parents to make sure or ensure it that we go about it the right way. So how do us parents do that? How do we make sure that they eat the right type of foods? And even if they are kicking up a bit of a fuss.
Well, it starts first with breakfast. You know, giving them something that kickstarts them for the day. Now, some children are breakfast eaters, some children aren't, adults are, adults aren't.
Yeah.
But you know, even if you can't get your children to sit down and eat breakfast, and one of the reasons why kids don't eat breakfast today is because families aren't sitting down eating together.
Right. That's right.
And a lot of children need to eat on the run because we need to get them out of the house and to school on time. So you might need to have a packed breakfast, and even something like a protein shake, which has got all the right proteins, minerals, vitamins, and probiotics, is a great start to a child's busy day. And something that my husband used to do, which was really great fun, we called it flap your wings and fly. Okay. He used to make the kids, or the kids used to help him make almond fruit shakes. Yeah. So, you know, we have these wonderful blenders today, and you throw your fruit in and your almonds and your juice or your milk or your yogurt or whatever it is, and you blend it all together, and that's a really hearty meal. And the reason it was called Flap Your Wings and Fly is he used to make them stand on the ground and flap their wings. And then he used to make them go like this, and he used to pick them up and fly them around the kitchen like aeroplanes, and then land them right next to the food processor on the counter, and only then could they hit the start button and make this mush. So food became science, and I think really involving your kids in cooking, in preparing the meals, is a fabulous foundation for them to be invested in good eating.
Can I just say, I envisioned a little cookbook right there, a smoothie book. I think this is something you should consider. There's a beautiful backstory to that one, but we are going to be continuing and exploring more on this topic about good nutrition and your children.
More with Nikki Bush a little bit later on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But time for us to play a little game with you, our emoji charades game. And this is where we test if your entertainment knowledge is on point. Well, then you know this game is just for you. And our emoji charades game will really test your skills. We're asking, is it a movie, a TV show, or a song? How many words are in the title? Well, let's give it a go by simply looking at our emojis. And don't worry, we'll also give you a couple of clues to help you out.
Exactly. So we know that it's a song. We have 3 words in the title. There's a world, and there is praying hands or a high five. Some people say it's a high five. Here's some clues for you. Now, this was the theme song for the 1991 Rugby World Cup. We might as well stop there. Written by Charlie Scarbeck. It was the first recorded song by New Zealand soprano Dame Kiri Tikanawa. And there have since been numerous other recordings. But I think the one that we know the best we'll remember the powerful version done by PJ Powers and Ladysmith Black Mambazo that was recorded for the 1995 Rugby World Cup.
I think everyone now knows what our mystery song is. Well, let us know. Head on over to Facebook or Twitter by using that hashtag Expresso Show and try out our emoji charades game.
So we are so chuffed and honoured and over the moon to have Liz Ogumbo in studio this morning. Liz, how are you doing, you gorgeous thing?
Fine, thank you.
You know, they say first impressions are the most important thing. I doubt you have a lot of trouble making a good first impression, judging by the reaction from our studio team. The guys were like walking into walls. We're like, concentrate, you got a job to do, you got a job to do.
Come on, you're pushing it.
It's so cool to have you here.
Thank
Cannot
you.
wait to have you perform, but set all of that aside, we're going to put you to the test right now. We're going to play our favourite game. It's called Rapid Fire. So we've got 60 seconds. I'm going to fire off as many questions as we can get through, and you're going to give me a straight up answer. All right? Are you committed?
I'm
Are you
committed.
ready?
I'm in. Let's
Are you?
go.
I can
Let's
see
do
the
it.
fire in your eyes. Let's do this. All right. Mr. Direct Man, can I have my 3, 2, 1 countdown? Let's go. Most used emoji.
The flower.
The
A
flower.
wine and the wine.
And the wine. Oh, I don't know what that says. Beyonce or Adele?
Dinner.
Adele. I like that. 60s or 90s?
60s.
I'm so glad you said that. Always early or always late?
Oh, always late. Not always, but always
Yeah,
late.
most times. Meghan Markle or Kate Middleton? You can say I don't care.
I don't care, but maybe Kate for now. Kate for
Spring or autumn?
now. Spring.
I like that. Best karaoke song?
Let's just keep moving.
Banana or pizza on banana on a pizza? Will you? Yes or no?
No.
No ways. Movie with subtitles or audiobooks?
Gosh. Audiobooks.
Audio, there we go. She's intellectual. She's old school. We absolutely love it. Thank you so much for having a little bit of fun with us. You know, when you said 60s, I was like, you are so old school in the way that you present yourself and in the styling, in your throwback soul. There is something that is just so old school about the way you approach this incredible vocal talent that you have. Is that something that's conscious, or was it born out of the influence? I know your grandmother used to sing as well, who you were named after, which is so cool. Does she play a massive influence in that old school styling?
I think people are just born into things. I think that soul, music, creativity to a larger extent, I think you're born into, I think. And I think there's opportunity for you to obviously further it, but I think I was born into music.
It was your destiny.
I think so.
Obviously from Kenya, but you've kind of spread your wings, but your roots are definitely there. KenSoul, an album that really does, it shows a lot of pride in where you've come from. Why was that so important for you to have that voice, be that voice?
I think for me, it's so important. I feel like, first of all, we live in a world where it's so easy to lose our sort of roots.
Yeah.
And I feel, and our heritage and our culture, it's just so easy. And because of globalization, everything's becoming everything. And next thing, we're going to have one big,
The world
fat
is tiny, yeah.
little basket with everything all melted and lost in. So I think I'm taking responsibility as an African citizen who's very passionate about Africa. I'm passionate about Kenya. And I think for me, it's also time for us to tell our stories, because no one's telling our stories the way we should be telling the stories, and really bringing the real soul and the essence out of
There
our
ain't no
stories.
better way to do it than performing, and you do it so well. She's a model, computer science graduate, fashion designer. She's got it all, and we've got her for this morning. We're going to bring you an unbelievable performance, and you want to stick around for that. Awesome, well done.
Thank you.
Wait to hear that, Liz. So good to have you on our show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's all about tech news. We're running through that, and Snapchat has got a brand new filter that reacts to sound. It's this lens. We're going to find out exactly how that works if you are into Snapchat, and then we're also taking a look at your top local and international tracks at your 5FM Top 40. Don't miss it after the break.
For the freshest peri-peri prawns and espetadas, dine out tonight in Mozambique with Travelstart's return flights to Maputo from under 3,300 Rand. East African spice meets the Indian Ocean's bounty over an open fire. It's a food lover's getaway to glorious Mozambique for under 3,300 Rand. Another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Born around 78, a few months early, they call me premature. They say I couldn't wait, so grew me till the tube was on for sure. A few years later and a bit more mature, trying to blend into my space and culture. Then Georgie called me ugly, he said my skin was dark, I was tall and skinny. Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Doop doop da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 ba ba da ba ba ba. Georgie Porgy putting them by, kissed the girls and got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Georgie Porgy putting them by, kissed the girls and they got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. I said he ran away, ran away. 99 we met again, down the street, 22nd and Main. Eyes on me, trying to be sleek, hoping I would turn my lips off chicks. Oh yes, I caught him out. He said he was heading out south. You know, he offered a kiss. I said hell no, I had to give it a miss. Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Doop doop da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 da ba da ba.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on SABC3. It's your Wednesday morning. So good to be hanging out with you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get your tech daily dose. Graham, what's happening?
This one is really interesting. I think a lot of people are going to kind of have a light bulb moment with this one. A tech startup company in San Francisco called Volant's Eye has designed a delivery drone that's literally on steroids. It's an unmanned craft that can carry roughly a 10-kilogram payload. Anyone who knows drones will know how much that is. Okay, it can do this at a speed of 320 kilometers an hour for a distance of 800 kilometers. That is insane. The company was started back in 2015 by, funnily enough, an ex-Tesla employee named Hanan Povvizian, okay? And he noticed that shipping single crucial engine parts between their factories was a logistical nightmare. So he figured that many industries were facing a similar problem. So along with his team at Volant's Eye, they designed this new craft specifically to autonomously deliver heavy parts to factories, construction sites, mines, oil rigs, and ships. And it uses rechargeable electric batteries as well to take off and land, and aviation fuel to fly horizontally, and is able to land on a moving ship in a 5x5 meter area. Game changer.
Game changer indeed, man. 800 kilometers.
But just think about like hearts and kidneys and stuff as well, what you could do in emergency situations. This is insane, man.
Or just kind of flying a package from, to your mate from here to Joburg.
20 pizzas.
Something, that's pretty cool, man. Listen, and then what we've been talking about this morning, Snapchat. I know that you're not on Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat.
I've tried though, I've tried
as well, but I'm not actually sure how many people actually still use it, but they have a brand new feature that they've launched in an attempt to really improve engagement. And many of you will of course be aware of the Lens Studio on Snapchat that makes the use of this or augmented reality filters to add or to change your face in the environment and the camera around you. But for the first time, they've now launched lenses that react to sound specifically, all right? So the first release is this animal face mask together with ears and these cute glowing eyes that will pulse depend on what sounds you make, all right? So apparently, the louder you are, the more it will react. So Yeah, I guess if you're going to encounter a group of people in public spaces making all kinds of weird animal sounds, don't be alarmed, because they're just making a Snapchat filter and video, man. So I don't know, if you're into Snapchat, we'd love to know. Is this something that you're going to be looking forward to? I can't wait to see some of those pictures.
Please
I know
send us
Leanne
a
is
few,
very
man.
much into her Snapchat, so come on, Leanne, show us what you got.
I definitely will. In the national news this morning, the National Assembly has passed a series of labour bills, including the contentious National Minimum Wage Bill, which has been described by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant as a historic achievement and a first since the dawn of South Africa's democracy. The Electoral Commission of South Africa says it's not preparing for an early election, but that it is on track to hold an election in mid-2019 when the current term ends. Rumours of an early election started after an ANC National Executive Committee meeting had debated the possibility of bringing it forward. A man killed 2 female police officers and a civilian in the Belgian city of Liège yesterday. The gunman also took a female cleaner hostage at a school before being killed by police. And then finally, at least 10 people have been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamic militants. Children are reported to be among the victims in Monjani village in the Cabo Delgado province, which is a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
We start with local football. Mamelodi Sundowns striker Percy Tau was named 2017-2018 Footballer of the Season last night. Of course, at the Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton, while Coach Pitso Mosamane won PSL Coach of the Season. Then onto the field, Black Leopards could seal their promotion to the Premier Soccer League today if they manage to beat Jomo Cosmos in their PSL playoff showdown. Kickoff for that at the Torrendale Stadium is at 3 o'clock. Then staying with football, Mozambique jumped up to second place in Group A of the COSAFA Cup thanks to a 3-0 win over Comoros in Polokwane last night, while Madagascar and the Seychelles, they drew 1 apiece. And finally, Serena Williams has marched on to the second round at Roland Garros yesterday thanks to a straight sets win over Kristina Pliskova. Elsewhere, Kevin Anderson also beat Paolo Lorenzi 3-0. More on all of those stories in a half hour.
Well, taking a first look at your roads in Gauteng Midrand, there's a stationary truck. It's on the N1 southbound. It's in the left lane at Olifantsfontein Road, and there's congestion approaching the scene. I'll have more for you in half an hour.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Thank you, Zoe. Well, one thing's for sure, we can definitely feel those winter temperatures here down in the mother city. But taking a quick look at your weather, it looks like most parts of the country can expect nice and chilly temperatures this morning, reaching mild maximums later on for certain areas. Polokwane on 9 minimum, reaching a high of 24 degrees. Mbombela 12.22. Pretoria 9.21. Johannesburg 7 and a high of 20. Mahikeng 11.24. Klerksdorp 8 minimum, reaching a high of 22. Kimberley 6.19. Bloemfontein 3 minimum, your maximum 18. Richards Bay 16.22. Pietermaritzburg 6 and a high of 18. Durban 15.22. Nata on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 19. East London 13.22. Cradock 2 and a high of 20. Port Elizabeth starting off on 11, reaching a high of 21. George 9.19. Sutherland, a cold day expected, starting off on -2 this morning, reaching a high of 12 degrees. Cape Town 12.16. Worcester 6.16. Springbok 3 degrees minimum, reaching a high of 17. And Uppington 5 and your maximum 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather for the 6:30 bulletin. I'll bring you another update in half an hour's time, just after 7.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're taking a look at the top 40 local and international tracks on 5FM. And then we find out from Wietse van der Pasteis and how to prepare for a race. All that and more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So ek het nog nooit regtig my kinders my musiek gespeel nie. Maar hoe dit werk is by die skool dan leer die maatjies vir hulle van sing vir liefde en dat hulle dit luister. En ja, hoe dit nou by ons werk is, ons luister nou elke oggend voor skool sing vir liefde 2 keer deur voor ons by die skool kom. Is vir my erg. Ek wil maar net vir elke ander mamma
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time for us to catch up with what our local stars have been up to. And I feel like I've been missing out on a lot.
Well, I'm going to catch you up. I'm going to catch you up. TV chef Siba Mtongana is expecting baby number 4. Now, the star made the announcement on Instagram when she shared a picture of herself and husband Brian attending the Miss South Africa pageant on Sunday, where she was a judge. And she said, "There's 3 of us in this pic, another princess awaiting to be crowned." I lost my mind when I saw that. She captioned the gorgeous snap like that. And then Siba is already mother to 3 children. She's got 2 boys and 1 girl. And she is expecting another girl. At the star tagged the post #GirlSquadGrowing and #balancing the scales at home. Replying to a congratulatory message on Twitter, Siba wrote, "Thank you, darling. We are thrilled. This is a huge blessing. A sister for my daughter. Precious moments." I think that's wonderful.
That's cool. You know, Siba, she works so hard, but you know what? I'm sure she has her challenges as well. Look at her, but she just kind of like resonates this perfect mom light.
And look at that little girl. She definitely needs a sister. I love Brian's hair though. Brian's hair is like so Fresh Prince back in the day. Love it. Talking about another mom that is loving momhood is definitely Caroline van Jaarsveld. Now, I checked out her Instagram and she says that her kids listen to her track Sing vir Liefde every morning while on their way to school, and she says she needs a break. Now, in a clip posted to Instagram, Caroline says she doesn't usually play her music at home, but her kids hear it at school. And recently, they added listening to their mom's song, not just once, but twice. Let's take a listen to the fact that she says it's been difficult.
So ek het nog nooit regtig my kinders my musiek gespeel nie. Maar hoe dit werk is by die skool dan leer die maatjies vir hulle van sing vir liefde en dat hulle dit luister. En ja, hoe dit nou by ons werk is, ons luister nou elke oggend voor skool sing vir liefde 2 keer deur voor ons by die skool kom. Is vir my erg. Ek wil maar net vir elke ander mamma daar buite sê aan wie ek hierdie gedoen het. Ek is regtig jammer. Dit is vir my ook moeilik.
I know, she's like traumatized. She goes on to apologize to every mom, like she says that she's done this to. She's really, really sorry. But let me tell you, if you are talking about the song, people love it. So,
That's so cute.
you know, it's just one of those things you just have to water off a duck's back.
But kids love listening to things on repeat. They love doing things over and over and again.
True
so
story.
Adorable.
Yes, shame. Sterkte, Carlien, sterkte.
Just no R. We feel your pain. So now we're about to step into the ring with some heavyweights in the 5FM Top 40 local and international charts. Representing South Africa, we've got Lady Zamar and Goldfish, but they're up against some big guns in the form of Ariana Grande and Drake. Who is going to take that #1 spot? Who is going to hit the floor? Let's find out from Mr. Nick Hammond.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Nick Hammond from 5FM here to recap the 5FM Top 40 from this past weekend. And like we always do, we jump straight in by looking at the brand new entries onto the charts. And speaking of which, at number 39, off the Season 2 soundtrack of 13 Reasons Why, which is produced by this very same artist, it's Selena Gomez with Back to You.
I know I'd go back to you.
Then the second new entry pick I decided to highlight this week came in halfway through the top 40 at number 20. It's new music from Jess Glenn called I'll Be There.
I'm gonna come through. You'll never be alone. I'll be there for you.
Checking out my move and shaker picks for the weekend. You know we love to put the spotlight on re-entries onto the chart, specifically when they're local, because it means that your votes on the 5FM app help them get back onto the 5FM Top 40. And the first that I've picked this week is a re-entry at number 25. It's a solid hit from Jeremy Loops, the first single of his album Critical as Water, called Waves.
And the waves came washed over me. And the waves came washed over me.
My second mover shaker pick actually didn't move anywhere in the past 2 weeks, but the fact that it's already at number 14 means that surely it's going to get at least in the top 10, if not the top 5, if not #1. It's Childish Gambino, the song that everyone is talking about right now. This is a man.
Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. Look how I'm.
Time to check out the top 10 biggest songs in music for this past weekend. Beginning at number 10 on the 5FM Top 40, it's Marshmello and Anne-Marie with Friends.
Haven't I made it clear? Want me to spell it out for you? F-R-I-N-D-S.
Coming in at number 9, local heroes doing the country and the world proud when it comes to dance music. They've got their latest hit at number 9 in the 5FM Top 40 with Sarana. It's called Hold Your Kite. Then coming in at number 8 off his latest album Beer Bongs and Bentleys, which has taken the global streaming world by storm, it's Post Malone with Ty Dolla $ign called Psycho.
They're matching with the jewelry. Damn, my hip be going psycho. Lil' mama bad like Michael. Can't really trust nobody.
And as we count down and heat up, the local songs continue to keep coming. This is a former #1, still staying steady within the top 10 at number 7. Lady Zamar, Collide. Number 6, and by the way, not his only appearance in the top 10, you will hear from this man again. It's Drake, a former #1, God's Plan. Then halfway through the back end of the top 10, coming in smack bang in the middle at number 5, this is Khalid and Normani with Love Lies. 5 weeks on the charts now, going from number 6 to number 4 in just 2 weeks. It's Calvin Harris and Dua Lipa with One Kiss.
One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities.
Then at number 3, he's taken a more matured sound with his upcoming album that we're all desperately waiting to hear more from. It's Shawn Mendes, In My Blood.
But I just can't. It isn't in my blood.
Coming in at number 2 on the 5FM Top 40 for this past weekend, a song that a lot of people think may go to #1 in the next week. We're going to have to check to wait and see and find out. It's Ariana Grande's latest single called No Tears Left to Cry.
Ain't got no tears left to cry. So I'm picking it up, picking it up.
Thanks as always for watching, guys. Make sure to keep listening to me, Nick Hammond, on 5FM's Hammond Time, Mondays to Friday, 9 to 12. And of course, every Saturday, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. as we count down together the 40 biggest songs in South Africa, Africa, and the world to see who will crown in that #1 spot. And speaking of which, this past week, for another week in a row, it's gone to Drake. I told you he had 2 appearances this week. It's Nice for White.
belly. Piping up on these against you gotta be nice for what to these against. I understand. You got 100 bands, you got a baby bands, you got some bad friends. High school pics, you was even.
So today we have an amazing story for you. We have a very special guest, Wietse van Westhuizen, who is blowing my mind. He is 60 years old. He has already run over 40 consecutive Comrades marathons and multiple 2 oceans. I've done 1, and that still rates as one of the coolest things I've ever done. He's also known for his very popular runs on Saturdays in Cape Town. He calls them Wietse's runs, and we're chatting to this incredible human being this morning about just how he does it. First of all, are you mad, Wietse, is what I've got to ask. Welcome to the show. It's so encouraging to me, someone who's discovered running quite late in my own kind of development. What keeps you going? 40 consecutive Comrades marathons, that is crazy.
I've got a young wife. I have to run.
Just leave the conversation there.
Yeah. No, I'm very fortunate. I've grown up in a passionate family for sport. You know, they've at a very young age, they've really encouraged us to take part in sport. So I've been a middle distance runner and a cross-country runner from quite a young age. So,
is it all in the genes? How do you sustain this? Is it all in the mind? What do you think sets now, not just a long-distance runner, but an ultra-long-distance runner apart? Were you born with the body for it, or born with the mind, do you think?
I think it's a little bit of, the body and the mind. If you haven't got the mind, you can't get up in the mornings or, go out when it's rainy, it's cold to train. But I've got a few friends that was really, really overweight, and they've done a few Comrades marathons, and it's not that tough.
He says, shrugging his shoulders. With all of these wonderful journeys, and each one I'm sure stands out as a separate individual memory. Do you have one memory over the years that really does stand out, one moment?
Actually, there's a few. Your first Comrades will always be an unbelievable run, but about 5 years ago, I helped my 2 daughters, Louise and Melanie, through on their first Comrades marathon. That was unbelievable, but last year was the most unbelievable run. My 40th, running with my 2 daughters, my son-in-law, my 2 brothers, a lot of friends, finishing Comrades, and that was unbelievable.
That is so, so special. Just taking a look at some of the photos, and I'm sure people know you in the scene now. How do you approach your training? I'm sure that's had to evolve as you've grown, but what is your training and your diet philosophy when it comes to the long distance?
I run to eat and to drink wine and beer. I'm not a guy that will wake up and live a strict diet. I eat what's on my plate. I try to eat very healthy, like, a lot of vegetables and meat, but I'm not a Noakes fan. I love my carbohydrates and my chocolates and all that stuff.
Trust me, over that distance, you need a carb, buddy. You need a carb. Looking at the damage that I've done to my poor body in my much shorter kind of career in running, I can imagine your joints have taken a massive amount of strain. Are there supplements that you go to? Are there your kind of remedies that you rely on?
Well, 60 years old, running more than 100,000 Ks over these years, if it's not for threshold MSM, that helped me to go through the pain, wake up in the morning. Walking to the toilet, it can be a pain. So if I'm not making use of threshold MSM. So threshold MSM is there for me every day of my life, and hopefully helping to reach my dream to run 50 consecutive Comrades marathons.
That is crazy. We're going to have to help each other up off these couches. Both of us were groaning to sit down. I absolutely love that. What's going to get you there? How do you remotivate yourself to do it over and over again?
Just the privilege to run. It's not your. I always tell the guys, it's not your right to take part in sport. It's not your right to drink wine or eat. It's a privilege. So just that privilege to run. You must. That's unbelievable.
Embrace it. You've set the bar pretty high, Wietse, you really have, but you're a wonderful human being as well, and I can feel the energy. So congratulations to you and your entire clan and family for doing it. Hopefully they'll be there for the next 10 Comrades as well, but congratulations on those milestones. And I'm also a big fan of Threshold's MSM, so I can certainly agree with you there. But thank you so much, and hopefully we'll have you back for the 50th.
That's it.
I
will
love
be
it.
there.
Threshold is an organic, which I love, form of sulfur developed to help you overcome pain and inflammation and to improve your general well-being. It's a daily supplement for anyone on the move and assists with maintaining healthy joints, tendons, ligaments, and other connective tissues. It might not take you to 40 consecutive Comrades marathons, but it's going to certainly help you along the way.
Try Threshold. It's clinically proven to assist with pain and inflammation, joint health, exercise recovery, and oxidative damage. Threshold, nature's anti-inflammatory for painful conditions.
Well, you better go refill those coffee cups because when we get back, Liz Ogumbo's on your Feel Good Breakfast show and she is here to perform.
Oh man, she's a darling. We just met her a little bit earlier on as well and she is beautiful.
Look
Can't
at that
wait for
dress.
that. Oh man. Listen, and then we're also going to be exploring our own neighborhood. Yeah, Graham takes us through some of his top foodie places right here in Sea Point. Going to see what we can find and explore. That and more after the break.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Her smile elevates, her heart beats with love, her love radiates. Look into her soul of true spirituality. Yeah, she smiles with deep sincerity. The dress that she wears, the curls on her hair, the way that she walks, them legs that make it talk, the way that she walks with her real integrity in her future.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're tuning to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso right here on SABC3. So good to be hanging out with you on your Wednesday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, though, let's get the latest on this funny, interesting, and rather random things on social media. I'm going the American route.
Well, you've seen it on Twitter. We've reported on it in the news. A Malian immigrant took the world by storm by his very heroic efforts to save the life of a 4-year-old boy who was hanging at the top of a building, just hanging on for dear life. And this boy, as you can see, there he is. A neighbor on the other side tries to reach out to help the boy. Clearly, the boy is, petrified, and he just keeps climbing, goes right to the top, jumps over, and then fortunately is able able to pull the little boy over to safety right there. Beautiful,
amazing, but
heroic effort right there.
And so low.
Exactly, and he just keeps going. Now, Mamadou Gassama is his name. The French, he's become a French citizen now, and he's going to be meeting President Emmanuel Macron as well. So he's been given a hero's kind of, thank you.
I saw the story and I saw this dude climbing. It's like he's a real-life Spider-Man, and I applaud him for his efforts. But what on earth were his dad doing just there standing? Could he not have helped and reached down?
It's crazy, but what I love about it is when you see somebody in need, not thinking twice, not looking left, right, just going for it and helping.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well done, Mamadou Gassama.
Yes.
Well done indeed. Well, you know what? I'll always bring you guys a kitten story just to lighten the mood a little bit. But how's this? A cute little grey kitten got a new toy and he just absolutely refuses to give it back to his human. I thought you should see this. Look at that. Nope, it's mine. Leave it alone. Nope. How cute.
Wow.
Makes me miss Sailor.
Yeah, that's so cute, man. Listen, now onto some dogs. I'm going to introduce you to Walter Jeffrey, the French bulldog, the Frenchie, yes, who thinks he's an opera singer.
Oh.
He does, yeah. So his owner actually filmed one of his performances.
Oh, my goodness.
And it went viral. Check it out.
You cannot keep interrupting.
Wow.
I'm having a conversation.
That is amazing. Listen.
Okay, can we just see that one more time? Just one more time, please.
You cannot keep interrupting. No. I'm having a conversation.
Oh, wow. That is
I'm having a conversation.
That is brilliant. Wow. Which hashtag, video, or story has caught your attention online this morning? I think that one's going to be a clear winner. You can share your thoughts with us online on our Facebook page and on Twitter using the hashtag Expresso Show.
Oh, yes.
Oh, now we've got Liz Ogumbo in studio. Liz, I know that's a tough act to follow, but I think we might just do it. She is a multifaceted, I think, African creative. She is obviously an unbelievable vocalist, singer, songwriter. She is an entrepreneur in every sense, a fashion designer, and she is here to show a little bit of what she is most proud of, her Kenyan roots. And she is going to perform for us right now, Msenangu.
Ground
promised you old school, and that's what we got. Thank you so much for that. That was beautiful, brother. Thank you so much. You can see I'm trying my hardest not to stand anywhere near you. The microphone stand is above my head, but that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Some Swahili thrown in there. I love the fact that you treasure where you've come from. You can let us know what you thought of that performance. Hit us up on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Right now, let's get back into those news headlines.
In the national news this morning, the National Assembly has passed a series of labour bills, including the contentious National Minimum Wage Bill, which has been described by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant as a historic achievement and a first since the dawn of South Africa's democracy. The other two are the Basic Conditions of Employment Amendment Bill and the Labour Relations Amendment Bill. Oliphant said the legislation would address the working conditions of South Africa's labour force. The bills will now be sent to the National Council of Provinces for concurrence. The Electoral Commission of South Africa says it's not preparing for an early election, but that it is on track to hold an election in mid-2019 when the current term ends. The IEC appeared before Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs yesterday to present its readiness for next year's election, constitutionally due to be called between May the 8th and August the 11th. Rumours of an early election started after an ANC National Executive Committee meeting had debated the possibility of bringing it forward. Now moving further abroad, a man killed 2 female police officers and a civilian in the Belgian city of Liège yesterday. The gunman also took a female cleaner hostage at a school before being killed by police. Police said the man was heard shouting Allah Akbar, meaning God is great in Arabic. The man attacked the officers from behind with a knife before taking a gun from them. He then shot dead a 22-year-old man who was in a parked car before he briefly took a member of a nearby school staff hostage. And then finally, at least 10 people have been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamist militants, officials say. Children are reported to be amongst the victims in Monjane village in the Cabo Delgado province, which is a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Of late, an Islamist militant group has carried out several sporadic attacks in the region. It's believed to be making millions of dollars from selling timber and rubies. Known locally as Al-Shabaab, the group was formed in 2015 as a religious organization. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Let's kick it off with a glittering affair last night. Mamelodi Sundowns striker Percy Tau was named 2017-2018 Footballer of the Season last night at the Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton. Tau finished the season with 16 goals in all competitions, helping his side, of course, claim their 8th PSL title overall and 3rd in the last 5 years. In other categories, Pitso Masamane won PSL Coach of the Season as well, while Itumeleng Kune was named PSL Goalkeeper of the Season. Still got it. Then onto the field action now. Black Leopards could seal their promotion to the Premier Soccer League later today if they manage to beat Jomo Cosmos. That's in their PSL playoff showdown. After a win and 2 draws so far, Leopards sit comfortably at the top of the playoff table with 5 points, while second place Cosmos are on 2 points after their 2 draws. Today's game kicks off at the Toyondo Stadium at 3 o'clock. Then on to a slightly bigger scale. Mozambique jumped up to second place in Group A of the CASAFA Cup thanks to a 3-0 win over Comoros in Polokwane last night. After a 2-1 loss to Madagascar in the opening round, last night's dominant victory takes Osmambas to second in the group on 3 points with 1 group game left to play. In yesterday's other match, Madagascar and the Seychelles, they shared the spoils in a 1-1 draw. And then finally onto tennis, Serena Williams marched on to the second round at Roland Garros yesterday thanks to a straight sets win over Kristina Pliskova, making her first appearance at a Grand Slam since winning the 2017 Australian Open. Williams was pushed all the way as she saw out a 7-6, 6-4 win. Also in action yesterday, South Africa's Kevin Anderson breezed into the second round with a 3-0 win over Paolo Lorenzi. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's look at those roads. Starting off in central Johannesburg, there are heavy delays. That's on the M1 northbound between Armanda and Braamfontein via the Crown Interchange. Then in the Western Cape and Plumstead, traffic is slow moving on the M5 northbound. That's between Dick Burton Road and the N2 highway. And that's where we leave your traffic for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Right, it's just after 7 o'clock. Let's quickly take another look at your weather and those temperatures. And most parts of the country can feel those chilly temperatures. Winter's definitely setting in, but in certain parts it will reach mild maximum temperatures. I'll run you through Polokwane 9 minimum and your mild maximum of 24. Mobela 12.22. Pretoria 9.21. Johannesburg 7.20. Mahikeng on 11 minimum, reaching a high of 24. Klerksdorp 8.22. Kimberley 6.19. Bloemfontein on 3 minimum, reaching a high of 18. Richards Bay 16.22. Pietermaritzburg 6 and a high of 18. Durban 15.22. Mthatha on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 19 degrees. East London 13.22. Cradock starting off on 2 minimum, reaching a high of 20. Port Elizabeth 11.21. George 9.19. Sutherland, a nice and cold day expected, -2 this morning, staying cold with a maximum 12. Cape Town 12 and a cool 16 maximum. Worcester 6 and a high of 16 as well. Springbok 3.17 and Uppington starting off on 5, reaching a high of 22 degrees. So wrap up your weather for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll keep you updated. I'm back just after 7:30.
Time to head to social media this morning. We are talking about hashtag Child Protection Week that runs all the way up until the 3rd of June. A week that is to highlight the rights of children in South Africa. This Twitter user says, hashtag it breaks me to see innocent mothers and children being murdered and abused for no reason. Hashtag Child Protection Week, make something happen. Moving down, we see here this person says, this is beautiful. My mother still has my prints. This puts a smile on my face. And this is, of course, a teacher that says my first graders at work. Hashtag Child Protection Week. Moving further on, people talking about bullying. Lots of encouraging messages and so much for us to look at in terms of Child Protection Week. But I really do love this last one right here. If social media will just play along with me, that says right here, there is no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. And this is, of course, said by Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa. So I definitely think Child Protection Week is something that we should not only leave to the week, it should be something we focus on every single day. It's all about the rights of our beautiful children.
So we're going to take the quickest of ad breaks. When we return, I'm going to prove that sometimes the real foodie gems are literally right on your doorstep. I'm going on an eating marathon throughout my hood.
That's right. And whether you're going on a staycation or a vacation, we'll also take a look at how you can find all the dream food places on your dream holiday. We'll see you after the break.
It's the food lover's dream escape to Rome returned from just 6,700 Rand with Travelstart's gourmet Italian getaway. Summon the Eternal City as your chance to dine out on the town from breakfast espresso to linguine, fettuccine or pesche al forno, and if there's room, maybe a torta de cioccolato. Go all out Italian with the Rome return flights from just 6,700 Rand for travel during September and October 2018. Just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with Travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good way.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, winter is officially here, but don't worry, you don't have to be stuck inside. There's plenty of things that you can do to get out and about.
Wander and travel are words synonymous with one another. Bring Protea Hotels by Marriott into the mix and you've got the perfect combination for the adventure of a lifetime. So winter is here. We might be swapping our flip-flops for gumboots, but it doesn't mean that the wandering has to stop, with a whole range of unbelievably exciting activities, and I can speak firsthand, situated just a stone's throw away from the Protea Hotels by Marriott, nation and worldwide. There is no excuse. We've got Group Marketing Manager Avukile Mabombo from Marriott International Regional Cape Town here to share some pretty exciting benefits that we can throw into the mix as well that will make the wandering even more wondrous. Avukile, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much, Graham. Thanks for having me.
Well, I have to say thank you to you because I get to kind of live through all of these adventures and do the little litmus test for our viewers, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I've got a great adventure coming on the way as well. The idea of wandering really does resonate with me because that's what I have to do for a living. For you guys, what does wander more mean to you?
I think, Graham, it's really about discovery. You know, travel isn't just about going to see different places. It's about experiencing different things. Yeah. It's about meeting different people. And I think that's how you grow as an individual. You know, you get a different perspective on life. And even though we might be locals, you'd actually be surprised how much there is still to learn in our own cities.
Completely. I'm always struck by how much I've missed. And I mean, like just even in Sea Point, I live here and I've missed half of the highlights that jump out. When we look at the offering, you know, those that are connected and close to the Protea Hotels by Marriott, you cater for absolutely everyone. What are some of the activities, some of the highlights when you think of your zones where you guys have a footprint?
So the great thing I think about Protea Hotels by Marriott is that every single one of our hotels has a different experience. You know, we don't have a cookie cutter model where we create our hotels in exactly the same way. Yeah. We allow the hotels to be part of the environment. So depending on where you go, you're going to get a completely different type of experience in that place. And the other great thing is that our geographic reach is also so amazing. So whether you want a city escape or you want to go out in the bush, you want to be out by the ocean, there's a Protea hotel for you literally in any one of those environments. So I think which is why, you know, this campaign is so important to us because it really allows our guests to have a completely different experience that they might not be used to pretty much anywhere in the country.
Not just the country, now we've extended to the Middle East as well. Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, the great thing about being part of a global brand like Marriott International is that we're able to leverage those benefits for our consumers. So now being part of the Protea family means you're part of the broader Marriott International family and you get to take advantage of those benefits. You know, we've got an amazing loyalty program called Marriott Rewards, which allows our consumers to be good on you, which allows our consumers to basically earn points and redeem points in about over 6,000 hotels around the world. So this current campaign that we're running now is extended across Africa. We're in a number of other countries across the continent as well as the Middle East. So if you feel that you've had enough traveling in South Africa, you can go to Zambia, you can go to Tanzania, you can go to Nigeria, you can go to Dubai.
Spread your wings.
There's a Marriott affiliated hotel for you there.
I absolutely love that. You mentioned very briefly the rewards here, and sometimes the wander can be inward. Sometimes you just want to treat yourself, you want an exquisite meal, you want to maybe pamper yourself, unwind with a spa treatment. The rewards and that reward offering is massive as well.
Exactly, because ultimately we're not just about selling rooms. You know, that the experience doesn't just start and end there, which is why we've extended the campaign to include a whole lot of other food and beverage and lifestyle offers. So to your point, you also get discounts as a Marriott Rewards member on your food and beverage. You get discounts on spa treatments, because ultimately, to your point, you know, some people want to take a holiday and just want to be pampered, or you want to get to, you know, indulge.
Put on a few kilos, you know.
Exactly, keeps you warm in winter, right?
There's also a lot of gyms involved, so you can
and
kind of work it out.
Gyms as well, so you know what, you can start off at the gym and work up that appetite so that you don't have to pile on later.
Just building on what you've said there, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know you're a really busy man, but the same passion that your guests get for exploring the areas, that also comes through in the staff that I've met and worked with in all of these different hotels. You really get a sense that they are so proud of their colleagues, of their guests, of their areas. So this really does work, and I think everyone gets it. And I love the fact that I get to wander as a result of this, dude. So, Avukile, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I've got to say, because this really did inspire me, I decided to actually take up the challenge and #wander more by finding my inner gastronomie and exploring some of the coolest foodie dens in Sea Point. And there are a lot to choose from OTT, way OTT hot chocolates and breakfast bagels to trendy donut, ice cream, sandwiches and food trucks by the ocean. And of course, with Protea Hotel by Marriott Cape Town Sea Point as my base, each stop was literally within walking distance. Lovely. A strong cup of coffee, a great night's sleep, the perfect formula to kickstart my day. So I'm going to use that caffeine buzz and all the extra Z's to wander a foodie wonderland that is Sea Point. And with so many new foodie trends, delicious trends at that, raising the gastronomic bar in this part of the world, I have a feeling that a feast is not going to be hard to find. I love staying at the Protea by Marriott Cape Town Sea Point. I've gotten to know the staff. They're amazing. The atmosphere, the energy here is really Cape Town. This really is the perfect and most central spot to get the best out of the mother city. I've really embraced Protea's Wonder More campaign because I've realized that as a Cape Townian, as a South African, I've barely scratched the surface of the amazing places that are right under my nose. For me, wandering is taking the time to really experience the magic. You can take a step in any direction and discover something new. It's always evolving, it's always changing. There is a buzz day and night, and we are spoiled here. You know why I love sleep so much? It's like a time machine to breakfast. Undoubtedly the most important meal of the day, especially if you're wondering. It's going to fuel you for all those activities ahead. Now, I've heard about a place that apparently offers one of the best breakfasts in Sea Point, in particular incorporating their speciality here, the bagel. I can now understand why Kleinski's has got such an awesome reputation. First of all, my breakfast bagel was out of this world. Tasted something new for the first time, lamb bacon, beautiful. They often have different speciality bagels. They'll bring in a charcoal bagel or something with beetroot, something that's very much on point or on trend. But they've also got those old favorites, everything that you want out of a brilliant one-stop bagel shop. As the cooler season wraps her breezy arms around the mother city, we are swapping out our cooler refreshments for something a little warmer. I've been told emphatically, if you're looking for something delicious, indulgent, extraordinary, and maybe a little over the top, there is only one place to get it. I have to say, as someone who doesn't ordinarily have a sweet tooth, I think what sets my sugar apart, the creativity. First off, they are on point. There is so much thought going into every little item that I can see here. I think I could probably spend a week tasting everything. This really has stood out for me. And now that I've got chocolate and marshmallow all over my face, as you should do when drinking an OTT hot chocolate, normally I'm a guy of far too many words. I'll stop at just this in this case. This is without a doubt the best hot chocolate I've ever tasted in my life. Insane. The texture, velvety, smooth, the flavor not too sweet, creamy, just this blast of love and chocolate all in one glass. It is out of this world, something really special. Cape Town really is about getting outdoors, whether it's for some fitness, maybe some food, or just a little bit of fun. So next up on our foodie checklist is some street food with a beautiful sea view. This one takes outdoor dining to a whole different level. Having lived in Sea Point for a while, I've always loved Pasteis as a restaurant. When I saw their pop-up store pop up literally here on the boardwalk, I was overjoyed. They've got an awesome thin base pizza. It's very traditional. Their margarita is my favorite. This is the ideal way to step out, experience Cape Town, all within a stone's throw from your balcony at the hotel. The setting is blissful, and as the sun starts to go down, it gets even better. The fact that you can now grab a pizza after your walk or after your ride makes it even better. Let's be honest, it's never too cold for ice cream, especially when Oreo cones and donut ice cream sandwiches are on the menu. I have been missing out. I must have walked past the Dairy Den about 100 times. I finally now know what I've been missing out on, and I think they've really hit the mark here, combining two absolute classics. I love my ice cream, love my donuts. A donut ice cream sandwich is insane. Oh my word. That is amazing. I think one of the big favorites here at the Dairy Den has to be the Oreo cone. And obviously you can get it with a range of different delicious ice creams. They've also got a mouth-watering range of donuts. The deliciousness knows no end. No matter what your taste buds are craving, there is something for everyone here in Sea Point. And the best part is that everything I've experienced today and so much more is just a stone's throw away from the Protea by Marriott Cape Town Sea Point. So you can stay and wander as much as you want. I wonder what's next. So we really want you to wander more this winter season. Book now and enjoy up to 30% off on your stay, dining and spa experiences at Protea Hotels by Marriott across Africa. But you've got to join the Marriott Rewards program and discover exclusive benefits wherever you go between the 1st of May and the 30th of September this year. All of those terms and conditions that do apply can be found at protea.marriott.com, and you can get loads more inspiration to go wander more yourself.
Oh, well, Graham, seeing you exploring all those amazing places, it also inspires us to take a quick break, and when we get back, look at all the dream food holiday destinations that you can explore.
Absolutely, and Graham has been exploring quite a bit recently. We're going to take a look at how he explored Los Angeles when he flew there to chat to Eva Longoria for the movie called Overboard, and he was absolutely speechless, apparently, because she is absolutely gorgeous at that as well. We'll bring you that chat after the break. Stick around.
Join the party on Top Billing this Saturday evening for the dramatic crowning of our new Miss South Africa. Singer-songwriter Brendan Paper rocks as the new Buddy Holly. Heartthrob Jacques de Blanche weds stunning Coralie Branco. And Carolyn Stain of 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela celebrates her birthday at the epic Palazzo Stain. That's Top Billing this Saturday at 6 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. I think I have proven throughout the show that the perfect holiday starts with the right food. So why not take a foodie jaunt and really whet your appetite with some unbelievable foodie-inspired travel deals from Travelstart. They've got some foodie holidays, whether it's cooking up a storm in Italy with some of the freshest, best ingredients that you can find anywhere on the planet, or learning about the culture of a place like Mozambique by eating your way through some of their most famous destinations. Travelstart has everything you need. So to dish the dish this morning, Erik Dedekind is here from Travelstart. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm getting hungry already. This show has just made me hungry, but welcome to it. And thank you so much. You guys have put together some unbelievable packages.
You guys have. I mean, we're looking at some of the flight prices starting from just 6,700 Rand. That's for that foodie experience to Rome, or even to Mozambique for 3,279. Can you tell us a little bit more about these amazing foodie packages that you guys are offering at the moment?
Well, so the flights are going to be with, to Rome. It's with Etihad Airways from Johannesburg via Abu Dhabi. And a couple of months ago, I don't know if you remember, we spoke about layovers. So on your way, you could always consider stopping off in Abu Dhabi for 2 or 3 days and experiencing a bit of their culinary delights over there. And if you're not keen on flying via somewhere, then Alitalia has just started flying their direct service between Johannesburg and Rome recently, with 4 flights a week, which is pretty cool. And then if you prefer to stay closer to home, SAA is going to be your best bet with just an hour's flight from Johannesburg to Maputo. And it's an absolutely amazing country, Mozambique, with their food options are just incredible.
I think being that close to the sea, there is something that leaps off the page there. There is something about experience-driven holidays that is trending at the moment. We can't all put it on Instagram. It's not just all about having a grabbable photo of food, but people are wanting more out of their holidays now. It's not just about planting yourself there, it's about experiencing something. What do you think is driving this trend?
Well, like I heard your previous guest talking about, it's not just staying at a hotel, for example, it's about an experience. And South Africans, we're quite adventurous people, so we want to try new things, explore different destinations and places that people have never heard of before. So it's not just about going on a holiday and walking around a city taking a couple of thousand pictures of old buildings. No, we want to immerse ourselves in the actual culture and the heritage and the surroundings, the region, and very, very importantly, the food. So, we want to come back knowing that we've experienced something that you can't get anywhere else. And we also choose destinations that allow us to express our individual passions in life. So you'll get a lot of active people going to destinations where you can do a lot of hiking or cycling or walking tours. And then you get those who prefer to spend most of their time with animals. So we book them holidays where they can volunteer at rehab centres for animals.
That's awesome,
Well, I was going to ask you, how does Travelstart make it easier for those, who want to have that amazing experience, specific holiday or experience?
Well, so Travelstart Live is the team of almost 30 consultants. We are aged very differently. We are from all different walks of life. So collectively, we've pretty much covered the entire world. So we've accumulated a wealth of knowledge, and if you're ever looking to do something a little bit off the beaten track and aim more for a foodie experience or husky sledding in Alaska, you can do that. And chances are either we've done that, one of us has done it, or we've booked somebody to do that exact same thing.
Very quickly, what questions should I be asking for foodie destinations specifically? If I want to take a trip like this, what should I be asking the live team?
Well, we need to know from you, first of all, what your interests are when it comes to food. We also need to know how much money you're willing to spend so that we can maximize your experiences and get the best or the most for your rand. You need to ask us about visas, local day tours and excursions that we can book for you, like a cooking class in Vietnam or cheese and wine tasting in France. So ask us away. We know a lot of stuff and a lot of specifically food related destinations and options, and we'll be happy to assist.
Awesome, man.
Amazing. Well, Erik, thank you so much. He's not going anywhere. We're going to have more with Erik a little bit later. But perhaps you want to have that amazing Rome experience. And Travelstart, they've got amazing deals at the moment where you can get return flights for just starting at 6,700 Rand. And that's from September and October. But if you need more information, just head on over to travelstart.co.za for more of their friendly getaway deals.
So hungry right now. My word.
In the national news this morning, the National Assembly has passed a series of labour bills, including the contentious National Minimum Wage Bill, which has been described by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant as a historic achievement and a first since the dawn of the South African democracy. The Electoral Commission of South Africa says it is not preparing for an early election, but that it is on track to hold an election in mid-2019 when the current term ends. Rumours of an early election started after an ANC National Executive Committee meeting had debated the possibility of bringing it forward. On the international front, a man killed 2 female police officers and a civilian in the Belgian city of Liège yesterday. The gunman also took a female cleaner hostage at a school before being killed by police. And then finally, at least 10 people have been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamist militants. Children are reported to be amongst the victims in Monjane village in the Cabo Delgado province, which is a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Kick it off with football. In fact, football dominating this morning. Locally, Mamelodi Sundowns striker Percy Tau was named 2017-2018 Footballer of the Season last night at a glittering Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton, while coach Pitso Mosamani won the PSL Coach of the Season. Staying with football, Black Leopards could seal their promotion to the Premier Soccer League today if they manage to beat Jomo Cosmos in their PSL playoff showdown. Kickoff for that is at 3 o'clock. Then on a slightly bigger scale, Mozambique jumped up to second place in Group A of the CASAFA Cup thanks to a 3-0 win over Comoros in Polokwane last night, while Madagascar and the Seychelles, they shared the spoils. And in tennis, Serena Williams marched on to the second round at Roland Garros yesterday thanks to a straight sets win over Kristina Pliskova. Elsewhere, Kevin Anderson beat out Paolo Lorenzi 3-love. And we will expand on all of those headlines on the top of the hour.
Taking another look at your roads in Gauteng, Kempton Park, there's been an accident on the R21 southbound. It's before the R25 Babsfontein Road exit and it's causing heavy delays. Then in the Western Cape in Heideveld, traffic slow moving. It's on the N7 Jakes Gerwel Drive northbound. It's between Langa and Viking Way, so allow for some extra travel time. And that's where I leave your traffic for now.
Turning air into pristine, clean drinking water. Cirrus Water, the future of sustainable drinking water.
Thank you, Zoe. Let's quickly run you through those temperatures once again. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect nice and chilly temperatures for your Wednesday, reaching mild maximum temperatures a little bit later on for certain areas. Polokwane 9 minimum with a maximum of 24 degrees. Mbombela 12-22. Pretoria 9-21. Johannesburg 7 and a high of 20. Mahikeng 11-24. Klerksdorp 8 and a high of 22. Kimberley 6 and 19. Bloemfontein 3 this morning, staying cool with a maximum 18. Richards Bay 16-22. Pietermaritzburg 6 and a high of 18. Durban 15-22. Mthatha 5-19. East London 13-22. Cradock starting off on 2 minimum, reaching a high of 20. Port Elizabeth 11-21. George 9 and 19. Sutherland cold today -2, reaching a high of 12. Cape Town 12-16, Worcester 6-16, Springbok 3 minimum with a maximum 17, and Uppington starting off on 5, reaching a high of 22 degrees. It's a wrap of your weather for the 7:30 bulletin. I'll have one more update for you just after 8.
Now you can experience the magic of Rome and Mozambique with travelstart.co.za, and from the first bite to the last crumb, discover why Rome's dishes are deserving of your love, or perhaps you're in search of something spicier. Discover centuries of Portuguese, Indian and African influences that have made Mozambican food one of the tastiest cuisines on the planet. Now there's a foodie holiday just with the right ingredients for you, and that's for your next trip. And we have Erik Dedekind from Travelstart back with us as we continue to discover all these amazing cuisine destinations.
As you were talking, I think both of us were like drifting off thinking about all the places we've been and the experiences we've we've had, and I'm so lucky that I get to eat my way through so many of the destinations we travel to, and it's the best way to explore a culture. How do you guys actually go about building these dream foodie destination holidays? What is it about the live team that allows you, what dynamic is at play here?
Well, so as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we've pretty much traveled around the whole world, and we're quite adventurous ourselves. So you'll often find when we go and leave, it's usually to go and explore some weird place.
Because you can.
Yeah. Because we can. And so the other day I asked my colleagues, I went around the office and I asked my colleagues, what sort of weird foods have you eaten around the world? And it's like, there's a couple of weird things that's obviously still food for other countries and other people, but you know, so we've, as I say, we've been there, we've done that, and there's also a lot of holidays and tour companies that actually have specifically designed food itineraries and food holidays that we can book for our clients, that they can go and really go in depth in a country's food, like food culture, so to speak.
Thinking Tuscany.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys are running some amazing specials to Rome as well as to Mozambique and everywhere else. What is it about the two? I mean, they're so different in culture and culinary experiences. Well, how would you, say what is perfect for the Travelstart customer that wants to go to both places?
Well, so Italy, we know, is the home of pizza, pasta, ice cream and coffee, obviously. So if you're looking to try some of Mamma Maria's carbonara or Papa Luigi's custard gelato, then Rome has to be your next stop. Don't forget the wine. You know, no Italian meal is complete without wine. And then Mozambique is very well known for seafood, seafood and chicken, of course. But their seafood is freshly caught daily, and their grilled prawns are absolutely amazing. So if you're a little bit sensitive when it comes to chili and spice, the Mozambicans are not shy with their turning up the heat.
Okay.
So make sure to order something on the mild side if you're a little bit nervous of burning too much.
So my family were lucky enough, a bucket list trip to travel throughout Italy, tasting all the food, and they barely ever made it into a restaurant because the street food is just so amazing. Street food versus restaurant, how do I go about planning for those two different kind of experiences?
Well, in my personal opinion, if I travel somewhere, I really try and make it a point to experience as much of the street food as possible. It really gives you an opportunity to feel like a local. I personally like it because I get to interact with the people, and you often hear these weird stories as they're preparing your food, and it also supports the local community. The best part about street food for me is that the food is very authentic because the recipes have been passed down for generations. But when it comes to street food, make sure that it's fresh and it's cooked in front of you, and if it does look a little bit suspect, then rather move on.
Trust your guts.
Yeah, and then exactly, yeah, and then with restaurants, they can also be a really special experience, especially for dinners. So I would say try and look for something that plays live and local music in the evenings, really gives you a nice vibe. And then also try and support the establishments that are family run, because you want that authentic meal that is cooked with love and the freshest ingredients.
By Mama, yeah.
By Mama Maria,
By
of course.
Nonna, let's say. Oh, absolutely love that, dude. Again, I'm so hungry right
now. Well, Erik, thank you so much for joining us. And, maybe you're looking for the freshest peri-peri prawns and espetadas. You can dine out tonight in Mozambique with Travelstart's return flights to Maputo, and that's from under 3,300 Rand. East African spice meets the Indian Ocean's bounty over an open fire, and it really is a food lover's getaway to the glorious Mozambique. And for another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways, visit travelstart.co.za.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Well, There we go. The coffee machines are going. It's a Wednesday morning. We're going to be taking a quick moment in between. When we come back, seeing that Graham and Zoe are absolutely starving after that delicious segment, how about some custard-inspired Pasteis de Nata? Yes, and I'll gladly share, maybe.
Very, very nice. And then
Maybe.
Graham gets to chat to none other than Eva Longoria in the movie Overboard. Can't wait to see what that's all about. All that more coming up on the Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
This Thursday evening at 7:30 on Presenter Search on 3. The City of Gold awaits as auditions head to Johannesburg.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm your girl, Nileti the Star, the Chocolate Queen, Chocolate oozing.
We've got a live exclusive. Don't you dare go anywhere because I'm bringing you the best.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jack Sparrow. I'm a pirate, a privateer, an entrepreneur, but most importantly, I'm a captain.
Why did I leave my job to come and actually audition? It's because I want to actually be on the TV.
There's more talent after this. You better stay tuned. Oh, there's so much talent. I wish you were just here. Why didn't you present? Why didn't you come for audition? I went WW.
That's Presenter Search on 3. Thursday nights at 7:30 on SABC3.
How are you?
Repeat Saturdays at 12 midday. The stage is yours.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Hope you didn't miss us too much. Well, it's now time for us to get into our international entertainment news.
Well, Mariah has finally put her engagement to billionaire James Packer behind her after she decided to sell her engagement ring after 2 years since they broke out. Now, the 48-year-old split with the Australian in October 2016, just months after he asked her to marry him. And the singer apparently sold the 35-carat ring to a Los Angeles jeweler for $2.78 million, which is about 34 million rand. However, he did purchase it for $13.2 million, which is 164 million rand. Mariah has been very vocal recently about her choice to move forward in her life, surrounded by positivity. She says that requires leaving emotional and material baggage behind, including an old engagement ring from an ex-boyfriend.
Listen, That's a big ring. Why don't you just melt it down and create something else that's beautiful?
What do you want to melt diamonds down to?
Just turn it into a coffee table or
Turn
something.
the diamond into a giant pendant or something.
Okay.
The ring did nothing wrong. It was the ex. The ring did nothing.
Okay. The Australian billionaire and hero hitmaker started dating in mid-2015 after being introduced by a mutual friend, producer, director Brett Ratner. And then by January the following year, they announced their engagement, and Mariah labeling her future husband as spectacular and handsome. Yes, his bank account was spectacular. It wasn't to last, however, as they split in October of that year, and Mariah received, wait for it, $50 million as a payout for compensation for their breakup. And since then, Mariah, who is mom to 6-year-old Moroccan and Monroe with ex-husband Nick Cannon, has gone on to date backup dancer Brian Tanaka. So, yeah, this has been a massive payday for Mariah Carey. And
a breakup?
Yeah, seems like the 50 mil didn't last. She needed 2.7 more.
I'm trying not to actually just comment at all. You know, Mariah, I hope you're happy. I hope the kids are happy.
Yes.
Wow.
No, Mariah, you were happy.
Wow.
Let's tell the truth now. You are happy.
Bizarrely enough, it makes quite a nice lead into our next little featurette here. Obviously, we are getting really excited about the release of a brilliant film, and I can say that because I got to see a very privileged pre-screening of Overboard. You might remember back in 1987, you weren't, so excited out you were. Anyway, on the scene. But it involves a beautiful heiress, a billionaire who treats someone who is working, a Kurt Russell in that case, and Goldie Hawn being that heiress, like absolute dirt. She falls overboard, gets amnesia, and Kurt Russell then convinces her that she is actually his wife, and the mayhem ensues. So now we update to 2018, and the roles have been reversed with Anna Faris, who we chatted to yesterday, and Eugenio Derbez now swapping those roles. Well, the gorgeous Eva Longoria plays Anna's best friend in the movie, alongside her unbelievably funny husband, played by Mel Rodriguez, and I had an opportunity to sit down with both of them. They are so cool. Take a look.
That's him. I have an idea that is poetic in its justice. I'm here to pick up my husband.
You're really my wife?
For better or worse, baby.
First of all, I love the film. Thank you so much. It was just like this ball of love and joy, and it just, I think the original cast and team behind the original film would have been so proud of that. But it's got
that's cool.
A completely different spin. Now, how long have you guys known each other? What relationship did you bring to this?
We did our first movie together ever. When I first moved out here to Los Angeles, we did a movie.
Yeah. Well, he had lines. I was an extra.
She was an extra, and look at her now. My goodness. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, we've been kindred spirits for 20 years. Like, we've always known what each other's doing. And connected.
Known all friends in common, and so like I've always heard through the grapevine, she's good. And I have a funny story. I hadn't seen her in a couple years. She had done a show with Ed O'Neill called Dragnet, who plays Ed Bundy, right? Played Ed Bundy. And so she, I was talking to him. We were doing a pilot together, and I said, how's Eva? He says, oh, she's great. She's doing something called, I don't know, Troubled Housewives, or really seriously messed up housewives, or something. She says she likes the script, but you never know with these things,
I love Ed.
Yeah.
It's great.
So basically, it wasn't acting at all. You guys, the chemistry was amazing.
We had so much fun. We got to hit the ground running with our relationship as a couple, and we felt like Bobby and Teresa, had such history, and so it was nice that we had that history, and going into the movie, it was easy to play off each other and banter.
Something I loved, there was so much respect for the working man, respect for a single mom. I come from a single mother household, so I love that.
Exactly.
There was such a beautiful energy there, and telenovela, something in South Africa that we don't know. So, can I ask you guys a favor?
You don't have the equivalent?
We don't have it, and South African viewers just don't understand what it is. Can you give me a taste? Is there a scene, something that you guys...
Let's start doing...
I would have to slap you.
Why don't we do the rest of this interview as telenovela?
And then we stare at you, and then he's got to zoom in.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got to...
I didn't notice the camera and go, oh no, please don't do this. Please don't do this.
Very passionate, very dramatic, And you know, and storylines that go back as far as like Shakespeare and everything. It's it's revenge, love. You know, it's
yeah, but you know that's just a through line. The movie's not a telenovela. It's the movie's a general market movie that is so wide and appeals with universal themes that everybody's going to relate to. Like you said, Anna's character being a single mom with 3 kids with 5 jobs. It's like that person. That person's in your life, and so that's what makes you want to root for her. And we're just the accomplices to that.
Yeah, I think you're being really, really humble, guys. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You.
Love the film. I think it's going to make a lot of people very happy and very proud of themselves as well.
Thank you.
So.
Hi, honey. How was your first day?
And I said, what? In the morning.
Do we need to take him to the hospital?
I said, Bobby.
Nobody else do it like that.
Now, the king of all custard treats has to be, the Pasteis del Nata, and we're going to show you exactly how to make that.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Now we are whipping up the Pasteis de Nata, a Portuguese egg tart pastry. Now these custard tarts are flaky pastry combined with a creamy filling and a slightly charred top that makes for a satisfying rich bite that's perfect at any time of day. And with that, it's perfect for breakfast too. And with Clover Classic Custard, we'll be baking up these inspired sweet bites with a cheat recipe that puts a twist on the classic, and it only uses 3 ingredients.
Very, very easy, Zoe. And I love the way how you said it's so official. And it's perfect for breakfast. Yes, it is.
It is breakfast time.
It's very easy. Listen, you can buy your kind of store-bought puff pastry, right? If you really want, you can go about making it yourself, but it's very easy like this. So we've got our 2 sheets right here.
Okay.
We kind of just put some flour on the bottom like that. I'm going to put a little bit more, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Just dash a little bit of flour underneath here.
That enough?
Perfect. That should be fine. And let's do the other one as well. I just don't want it to
I will lift it up.
Cool. You do that, and then here we go. Just a little bit.
There we go.
Right, and now, Zoe, roll it out for us, just slightly, not too hectically.
Okay, just slightly, like that?
Just like that, yes. Perfect, look at you.
There we go.
And the other one as well.
I'll do that. Other way.
No, that way, yeah.
Okay, it needs to move, okay, move that.
There we go.
There we go.
We'll manage,
Make space.
Okay, so what I need you to do right now.
Okay.
Now it's done. Now we're going to just place, let's put this one, on top of the other one.
Okay.
All right, just like so. And then you need to roll it into a log, starting from the thinner end. All right, let's lift that up. So just there, and roll it from this way, all the way nice into it. So whilst you do that, I've got a pot on this side. All right, so what I'm going to do, I've got our Clover Classic vanilla flavored custard. I'm going to put about half the box in there. It's about 500 ml.
There we go.
There we go.
Now I've managed to make a log.
Perfect. And then you want to cut them into little medallions. We've done a couple over there, so just nice and not too thick. And on this side, the custard into not a very, very hot pot, all right? So I've got some cornstarch on this side as well, just to help thicken it. We're going to stir it through lightly, and you want to keep stirring up until it gets nice and thick. All right. We have our final mixture already done on this side. So just a little bit, no need to kind of slave over the stove.
There
just
we go.
Like that.
There we go.
So that's easy. So we have our final product over here, you can see. The keyword is Clover, by the way, if you want to get your hands on the recipe. That's Clover to 33728. And now we're going to take our medallions.
Okay, that's the afval.
The afval sticky.
Yeah,
so
you can take one of these.
So we have a little muffin tray that you've kind of just kind of wiped with some oil or some spray and cook.
Okay.
And then we're just going to start working it in there and pressing it down nicely.
Okay.
Just like that. And you make these little cups.
Okay, I see what you mean.
All right.
There we go.
Very, very easy.
Okay, so we have one that's already finished.
We have one that's already. And here, it's very easy. We have our custard mixture with the cornstarch that thickened it up nicely. And you're going to pop it right in the middle. Not too full. You still want to see a bit of a rim at the top.
That's right. Now, keyword for you this morning is Clover. If you would love to have these Pasteis del Natas, send the recipe to the link sent directly to your phone. SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. And of course, we also have a little bit of a recap for you in case you missed any of these steps.
Let's finish these guys off.
The king of all custard treats has to be the Pasteis de Nata, a Portuguese egg tart pastry. These little custard tarts are flaky pastry combined with a creamy filling and a slightly charred top that makes for a satisfyingly rich bite. For this recipe, you'll need 500 ml of Clover Classic Custard, 1 tablespoon of corn flour, mixed with a teaspoon of water, 1 roll of ready-made puff pastry. Cut the ready-made puff pastry roll into 2 pieces and roll out into equal-sized squares. Place the squares on top of each other and roll it into a log. Next, cut the log into 12 even-sized rounds. On a slightly floured surface, roll each round into a disc and press the pastry discs into a muffin tray. Then, in a saucepan, combine your Clover Classic custard and corn flour slurry. Heat while stirring until well combined and slightly thick. Remove from the heat and spoon the custard mixture into the pastry discs and bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes. Allow to cool on a cooling rack or serve warm. Thanks to Clover Classic Custard, we were able to put a twist on an absolute national treasure.
Made with love by Clover.
I mean, that was so easy, eh?
Oh.
The keyword is Clover, SMS that to 33728 for your very own Pasteis de Nata. And look how gorgeous they are. Perfect for breakfast, Zoe, as you said.
It is perfect for breakfast. I will take one right now.
Go for it. Let's have a taste.
Here we go.
Check it out on our recipe, our website as well. That's expressoshow.com. And you can see that a little bit later on this morning. But that keyword, once again, is Clover, SMS that to 33728. Yay?
Yes.
It's good for breakfast.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Jenny and Anel are here, and they're going to be asking, or rather answering, your burning food-related questions.
021-430-9881, that's the number to dial. Then Liz Ogumbo is here for another breathtaking performance. Stick around.
It's the food lover's dream escape to Rome returned from just 6,700 Rand with Travelstart's gourmet Italian getaway. Summon the Eternal City as your chance to dine out on the town from breakfast espresso to linguine, fettuccine or pesche al forno, and if there's room, maybe a torta de cioccolato. Go all out Italian with the Rome return flights from just 6,700 Rand for travel during September and October 2018. Just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with Travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to? Okay. Huh? You want to do quick sound check? Do you, or do we have time, or do we just go straight? And tempo is good too. Merci. Oh, sorry.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. It's your Wednesday morning. Still lots heading your way, so make sure you stay right where you are. Right now, though, let's quickly take a last look at your news headlines.
Thank you so much, Ewan Stratham. In the national news this morning, the National Assembly has passed a series of labour bills, including the contentious National Minimum Wage Bill, which has been described by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant as a historic achievement and a first since the dawn of South Africa's democracy. The other two are the Basic Conditions of Employment Amendment Bill and the Labour Relations Amendment Bill. Oliphant said the legislation would address the working conditions of South Africa's labour force. The bills will now be sent to the National Council of Provinces for concurrence. The Electoral Commission of South Africa, known as the IEC, says it is not preparing for an early election, but that it is on track to hold an election in mid-2019 when the current term ends. The IEC appeared before Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs yesterday to present its readiness for next year's election, constitutionally due to be called between May the 8th and August the 11th. Now, rumours of an early election started after an ANC National Executive Committee meeting had debated the possibility of bringing it forward. Now moving further abroad, a man killed 2 female police officers and a civilian in the Belgian city of Liège yesterday. The gunman also took a female cleaner hostage at a school before being killed by police. Police said the man was heard shouting Allah Akbar, meaning God is great in Arabic. The man attacked the officers from behind with a knife before taking a gun from them. He then shot dead a 22-year-old man who was in a parked car before he briefly took a member of a nearby school staff hostage. And then finally, at least 10 people have been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamist militants, officials say. Children are reported to be amongst the victims in Monjane village in the Cabo Delgado province, which is a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Of late, an Islamist militant group has carried out several sporadic attacks in the region. It is believed to be making millions of dollars from selling timber and rubies. Known locally as Al-Shabaab, the group was formed in 2015 as a religious organization. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Let's kick it off with a glittering affair. Mamelodi Sundowns striker Percy Tau was named the 2017-2018 Footballer of the Season last night at the Premier Soccer League Awards in Sandton. Tau finished the season with 16 goals in all competitions, helping his side claim their 8th PSL title overall and 3rd in 5 years. In other categories, his coach, Pitso Mosimane, won PSL Coach of the Season, while Itumeleng Kune was named PSL Goalkeeper of the Season. And staying with football, Black Leopards could seal their promotion to the Premier Soccer League today if they manage to beat Jomo Cosmos in their PSL playoff showdown. After a win and 2 draws so far, Leopards sit comfortably at the top of the playoff table with 5 points, while second place Cosmos are on 2 points with 2 draws. Today's game kicks off at the Toyando Stadium at 3 o'clock. Staying with the beautiful game, Mozambique jumped up to second place in Group A of the CASAFA Cup thanks to a 3-0 win over Comoros in Polokwane last night. After a 2-1 loss to Madagascar in the opening round, last night's dominant victory takes Os Mambos to second in the group on 3 points with one game left to play in the group stages. In yesterday's other match, Madagascar and the Seychelles, they shared the spoils in a 1-1 draw. And then finally in tennis, Serena Williams marched on to the second round at Roland Garros yesterday thanks to a straight sets win over Kristina Pliskova. Making her first appearance at a Grand Slam since winning the 2017 Australian Open, Williams was pushed all the way as she saw out a 7-6, 6-4 win. Also in action yesterday, South Africa's Kevin Anderson breezed into the second round with a 3-love win over Paolo Lorenzi. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Well, let's take a final look at the roads in the Western Cape and Wynberg. Traffic is sluggish on the M3 inbound. That's between Wynberg Park and the N2 interchange. And that's where we leave your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Look around. Life is beautiful. The Hyundai Tucson.
What an absolutely gorgeous morning down in the mother city. Let's quickly take a last look at your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like most parts of the country can experience nice and chilly temperatures this morning, reaching mild maximums in certain places, especially up in the north. But I'll run you through quickly. Polokwane, 9 minimum, your maximum 24 degrees. Mbombela, 12.22. Pretoria, 9.21. Johannesburg on 7 minimum, reaching a high of 20. Mahikeng, 11.24, Klerksdorp on 8 minimum, reaching a high of 22. Kimberley, 6.19, Bloemfontein, 3 and a high of 18 degrees. Richards Bay, 16.22, Pietermaritzburg, 6 and a high of 18. Durban, 15.22, Mthatha starting off on 5, reaching a high of 19. East London, 13.22 degrees. Cradock, 2 this morning, warming up to 20. Port Elizabeth, 11 minimum, your maximum 21. George, 9 and a maximum of 19. Sutherland, a cold day expected, -2 this morning, reaching a cool maximum of 12. Cape Town, 12.16. Worcester, 6.16. Springbok, 3 minimum and a high of 17. And Uppington, starting off on 5 and a high of 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for your Wednesday morning.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, well, it's time for us to say their happy birthday, because every day millions of people are celebrating their birthday all over the world. So we want to just welcome today, the 30th of May, and take a moment to wish some celebs and of course you a happy birthday.
Exactly. Today we're wishing a happy birthday to American actress and singer Idina Menzel, who celebrates her birthday today. Now, she rose to fame in musical theatre at the Alfaba in Broadway, hit Wicked, and then later landed that role of Maureen in the film adaptation of the musical Rent. She is also perhaps better known for the voice of Elsa in the animated film that took the world by storm, Frozen, and of course the popular title track Let It Go. And please note, I did not butcher her name, unlike other people did.
Probably me.
No, not you.
Well, listen, also celebrating his birthday today is probably a British footballer, Steven Gerrard. Now, he rose to fame as midfielder for Liverpool and also as captain of the English national team. He is regarded as one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, and he also retired in 2014 and is due to become the manager of the Scottish Premiership club Rangers.
Exactly, and then a big happy birthday to Pumla, who is turning 27 years old today. That answer, by the way, is Alec Baldwin, who did that at the Grammys or the Oscars or something like that.
Okay.
Well, if you are celebrating a birthday next week, what is your ultimate birthday song request? Well, Katleho could be singing your song live on Expresso. So why don't you go to the Facebook page, let us know whose birthday it is, what song you would like Kat to do, and who knows, you could be hearing your song. And remember to include a photo of yourself
who
as
the
well.
song is for.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, we are loving having the gorgeous singer-songwriter Liz Ogumbo in studio this morning. She's got 2 studio albums under the belt that she describes as the KenSoul experience. She's going to give you just a little taste of this unbelievable talent right now with one I think you're going to love. It's Georgie Porgy.
Few years later and a bit more mature, trying to blend into my space and culture. Then Georgie called me ugly. He said my skin was dark, I was tall and skinny. Doop 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 ba ba da ba ba ba. Doop doop da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 da ba da ba 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 ba. Georgie Porgy putting up high, kissed the girls and got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Georgie Porgy putting up high, kissed the girls and they got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. I said Georgie Porgy ran away. 99 we met again, down the street 22nd and Main. Eyes on me, trying to be sleek, hoping I would turn my lips or chicks. Oh yes, I caught him out. He said he was heading out south. You know, he offered a kiss. I said hell no, I had to give it a miss. Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Doop doop da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 ba ba da ba 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 ba. Georgie Porgy putting him by, kissed the girls and got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Georgie Porgy putting him by, kissed the girls and they got them high. When the boys came out, Georgie Porgy ran away. And he runs away, and he runs away. All the time he runs away. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy runs away, and he runs away, and he runs away. And all the time they run away. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. And Georgie Porgy ran away. Thank you.
too cute for words to your face throughout that. It was awesome. That was just too special. Thank you so much, hon. We're going to get one more performance this morning, but you can let us know what you thought of that at Expresso Show. We love to hear from you on social media. We also love to hear from you when the Culinary Hotline bling, ting, 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 opens the line 021 430 9881. We're going to open those lines after the break. We'll see you now.
Win a trip to New York City worth 150,000 Rand. South Africa's #1 cream cheese, Lancewood, is on the hunt for the nation's #1 cake. To bake it all the way to the Big Apple, upload a picture of your cake with the Lancewood product used to lancewoodcakeoff.co.za. 3 finalists will make it through to our live cake-off on Expresso Show. 1 will impress celebrity judges Zola Nene, Jay Something and Lorna Maseko and make it all the way to New York.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline bling. That can only mean
That's
one
right.
thing.
Welcome to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3 Expresso. It's a Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is time for the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Get involved. Thank you. Now, this morning we have Anel Potgieter and the lovely chef Jenny Morris on our foodie panel, who will be standing by to answer all of your burning foodie questions. So if you have any culinary questions or conundrums, please feel free to call us live on 021 430 9881. Ladies, hello.
And hello.
What a hello.
En goeiemorgen.
Ja, dankie baie. Goeiemorgen. What a welcome. Always made me a little bit flushed there for a second, but it's okay. I've got a tan. You don't see it. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. We've got some great questions this morning. I'm going to kick right off with Andre Rose Kopke-Kriel. What a name, eh? What is a whipping cream to other cream? That's what he wants to know. Your other creams, of course, being full cream, thick cream, or double cream. That's a good... I want to know this, because whenever the wife sends me out, it's like, just go buy some fresh cream or whipping cream. It's like, I don't know.
The thing is, whipping cream has about 48% more fat, butter fat in it.
Okay.
So it's like our Devonshire cream that we were talking about, 2 weeks ago or something. So it's got a much higher fat content than normal.
And that causes us to be able to whip it.
To be able to whip it and hold its shape.
Right.
Yeah, because when you stand in front of the shops these days, it's like whipping, double, normal.
There's
It's
a
like,
lot.
what koop ek, you know? So the double cream I normally buy just to add to a sauce to thicken it up and like just net om 'n bietjie meer rykheid te gee.
And it doesn't split.
It doesn't split.
It doesn't
yes,
split your sauce.
yes.
Okay.
And then whipping cream is for whipping and to put on top of a cake.
But you can whip fresh cream as well. Just,
Of course you can.
You can. And you can use that as well.
But it goes...
We don't want it to go... Okay. We have a caller on the line quickly. Good morning. Who am I talking to? Estelle. Hello. Good morning, Estelle.
Hi, good morning, team. How are you?
There she is. Good, thank you. And how are you on this Wednesday?
Very cold.
It is chilly. It is chilly. Estelle, what's your question for our foodies?
I would like to ask the chef, with small little cakes, I get everything right. But the quickest way to make a sponge cake, I know you have to use all the ingredients, but my big cakes normally turns out to be like roast.
Like rusks. That's not good, Estelle. That's not good.
And can I include Amazi cheese cream to give it more moisture and texture? And should I whip it before I add it to the dry ingredient?
You must, you see what the Amazi's got. It's got more fat. It's got fat. Baking is a science.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
I won't summer easily do that. If you can find a cake with a recipe with Amazi that's been tested, definitely, do use it. But I will use not the Amazi cream. I will replace, if they've got milk or a fluid, I will replace it with a plain Amazi, not with a thicker one.
Yes.
I will use the Amazi cream on top for icing, actually, with a bit of sugar through it. But the best way is to follow the recipe, Jen.
Follow that recipe, and you're saying it's cooking like a rusk. What size are you using the correct size baking pan?
Okay, that's also a valid point, yeah.
If it's like that, you're going to get the lovely rise and the moisture. If it's like that, it's going to be thin and beautiful for a trifle.
Size 35.
Size 35. That's
wow, but how much mixture is going into that?
I also think you must look at your temperature and how long you it bake, for how long you bake it, and follow a very good recipe. That's what I always say, from a very reputable place.
Like Google?
No, like Expresso's website.
Yes.
Tried and tested, darling.
All right, thank you, Estelle. Well, happy baking. I hope those sponge cakes, look less as rusks, but more like a sponge cake. We have another question here, and this is a very, very simple question as well, but a valid question at that. Ayesha Bogas-Bloomberg wrote to us on Facebook saying, what is the best spoon to stir your cake mix? The best spoon to stir your cake mix.
What would you use?
I would use a spatula, like a big spatula.
Yeah. And I would use, of course it's thin, and I would use a metal spoon or a spatula because it's thin. The wooden spoon is very thick.
Yeah.
And also, the thing about a wooden spoon is that it attracts moisture. And so whatever you've cooked with it before, whether it's garlic or a soup, you're going to get that into your cake as well. But like Anel says, a nice thin spatula or a spoon, because you don't want to break up when you whip your flour and your eggs and your butter.
Yes.
You're putting air into your cake, so you don't want to beat it out.
Yeah, and I think if you've got like a spatula or a thin spoon, metal spoon, you need to have that folding action. Dit is nie 'n geklitsery, so a folding action to get and to keep the light inside. A wooden spoon sal ek eerder gebruik om fudge te maak en om weet seker waar jy goed klop. Or like you did yesterday, to butter the cream and the sugar. Dit is a wooden spoon.
Yes.
Verstaan jy?
Yes.
Or muffins. Muffins.
Yeah, muffins.
Chunky.
I had no idea there's going to be this much conversation around what spoon. All right, listen. Another question we have here from Rian Madeleine, also a Facebook question coming through. How do I bake a flat cake without it bulging in the middle? And we see this problem coming out quite often.
Well, do you want to go?
No, you can go first.
Okay. You know what happens when you're baking? Remember, the cake cooks from the outside to the in.
Yeah.
And often, oven temperatures, it might say like 180 in a cake. I would actually turn it down by 10 degrees.
Lower and slower.
Lower and slower. Darling, that's the best advice.
We are still in a cooking segment, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, just checking.
No, but what she's saying is absolutely 10,000% correct.
Yeah.
Because it cooks from the outside in, and what happens is, that's when it peaks. Yeah. And starts giving you that.
I see. Okay, so lower and slower.
Yeah, it's like a lower temperature, 160, and a bit longer. So instead of baking it for 20 minutes, you're baking it for like 35 minutes or so. That's where this lower and slower comes in.
Right.
And then another thing you can do is, and I know it sounds ridiculous, is it's because the heat of the pan, dit word te vinnig warm. So it cooks from the outside. So what you can do is put a lappie, sny 'n lappie, verbande werk baie goed.
Really?
And you put it on the outside of your tin and you fasten it. And it actually insulates the tin so that it meer 'n eweredige bak is. So that will also help.
Like normal bandage.
Yes, you can bandage gebruik, but you actually buy stuff that you can actually put around your tin. Yeah.
Interesting.
And now when you're doing Christmas cakes, the fruit cakes, sometimes the Tannies used to bake it in a cardboard box, a wet cardboard box, for that very reason, so it could go lower and slower.
Listen, we have a very quick caller on the line, Louise. Hi, Louise.
Hi.
Hello, Louise.
What's your question?
Hi. I want to make an apple tart. But I want to know, can I use the tennis biscuit crust or must I do a baked crust?
Use that.
I think it all depends what type of tart you make. I would prefer baked crust, actually, you know, a gewone baked crust. But I think if you do like a quick one, a crumble, then you can do the tennis biscuit.
Yes, you can. And if you want to sort of line it like a fridge tart and bake it, cook the apples first.
Yeah, definitely.
Because otherwise that's going to be cinders, darling. It'll be a Cinderella tart.
The Cinderella tart.
Oh.
Delicious, but it's going to be Cinderella tart. Thank you, guys. We're going to be back with our foodie experts. 0214309881. That is the number. We'll be back with these two lovely ladies in just a bit.
Now, as winter really starts to take its icy hold around the country, there's nothing better than to warm the heart than some good old home baking. Now, if you agree, then we have just the competition for you that could put you in the line to escape the cold and head to New York City for an all-expenses paid trip to the value of 150,000 Rand. Lancewood, SA's #1 cream cheese, is in the hunt for SA's #1 cake, and simply make your favorite cake using any Lancewood product. Visit lancewoodcakeoff.co.za and follow the simple instructions. By filling in your details, you list the ingredients and the method, and simply take and upload a picture of your cake with the Lancewood product used. Now, entries close at midnight this coming Sunday, so you only have a few days left to enter, and don't miss this amazing opportunity. But get this, if you enter the Cake Off, not only do you stand a chance to win that dream trip to New York, but you can also stand a chance of winning this amazing KitchenAid artisan mixer. Every family has a special baked treat that makes an appearance at every family gathering. Well, why don't you share yours with us on Expresso's Facebook page and stand a chance of winning this stunning kitchen appliance, but you have to have entered the Lancewood Cake Off competition to be eligible. Now, terms and conditions, those can be found on our website, so check it out at expressoshow.com.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we are heading back to the kitchen where Jenny and Anel are there to answer your burning food-related questions and make sure that we sort all of those out. Look at you!
I almost forgot completely what I was going to be talking about. But of course, we continue with Nikki Bush, our creative parenting expert, talking about what your diet can do for your child's brain and their development. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, my word. It was one of the stale ones that they took.
For the freshest peri-peri prawns and espetadas, dine out tonight in Mozambique with Travelstart's return flights to Maputo from under 3,300 Rand. East African spice meets the Indian Ocean's bounty over an open fire. It's a food lover's getaway to glorious Mozambique for under 3,300 Rand. Another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only
Welcome back to it. It's the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Here we go, answering all those burning foodie questions. We've got the lovely Jenny Morris and Anel Potgieter in the kitchen this morning answering all those questions. 0214309881. That is the number to dial. Ladies, you guys are phenomenal. So good to hang out with you. All right, let's get into the questions. We got a lovely one here from Glodia Markgraaf. All right, on Facebook, she said, "What do I do if my food is too salty?" Can I take a guess?
Yes.
Potatoes.
Yes.
Really?
Bread.
You're right. Okay.
If you haven't got potatoes in the house, just cut some thick bread. Just lay it on the top. You are going to lose a little bit of your sauce, but then you can just reinforce it with a bit of, not stock, because stock is obviously
Okay, so
salted.
this is obviously when you're preparing it, but I don't know, she didn't specify, but what if you're done?
Yes.
And you've dished your food and you taste, and you're like, okay, hang on.
It's too late. It's too late at that point.
Yeah, what I will do, I will just quietly put a few lemons on the table and tell them, please squeeze a bit of lemon over it. Because you've got your flavours are sour, salt, sweet and bitter.
Sour,
And as jy dit balanceer, so if there's too much salt, you can always add a bit of acid and a bit of sugar. It's as crazy as that.
Really? Yeah,
it actually starts to balance it out.
Yeah.
So I will put a few lemons on the table and just tell them, please, the recipe says squeeze a bit of lemon on it.
It's from my Greek auntie.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And
All right.
try and get it away.
And then just get through it.
Yeah. Just get through it. And maak asof jy niks weet.
It's fancy because you've got lemons.
Yeah.
we got a call on the line. John from Durban. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you.
Good to hear from you, John. What's your question?
Man, I have a problem with the gas stove.
Okay.
I use a gas stove oven and I bake my biscuits, but the problem is that I can't get them golden brown. They're either overcooked and it's burnt at the bottom. Now, how do I remedy this lot?
Right. Okay. So gas stove, cookies don't get brown, but sometimes
I've got
they
a gas
burn.
oven at home as well.
Tell me.
You see, your gas oven, you need to get to know your gas oven like it's your new partner. Seriously.
Yes.
And what I do is, in the beginning I was hysterical, so now I turn the heat down a little bit. That's for burning. And I bake on the middle shelf. Don't go on the sides. Go on the middle shelf, but he's saying he wants the golden.
Could it be the recipe?
So it's also sometimes a recipe, like you get those Greek almond biscuits. They will never, ever go brown because they are white cookies.
Yes. We actually made some yesterday, those crescent moon kind of almond.
Yes.
Delicious.
And then you get like spicy biscuits that are brown, you know, that's got spices and mixes in it.
Yes.
Sometimes they've got brown sugar in or cacao or chocolate, so they are brown. But I think what he's struggling with is with his oven and the temperature that differs from the temperature in the book. So what I will suggest is to buy a temperature meter, a separate one that hangs there. Want ek het ook een, because things differ. And make sure that it's the right temperature. And also, I think it fluctuates the heat sometimes. So partykeer moet jy die pan omdraai. You know, you change the pan halfway.
And if you open the door, the heat runs out.
I see. I see. John, did that make sense to you?
Well, I'll try it, you know. I'll give anything back until it's sorted out.
All right, well, wishing you all the best with your cookie endeavours, John. Thank you very much. All right, next question we have here, also from Facebook, Claudia Bernarda. Interesting question. How do you make pea soup green? Wouldn't the peas kind of make it green? No.
Is she using dry peas?
I don't know. That's the only question we have.
No, but we had this discussion just a couple of weeks ago. If you're using dry peas already, it's army.
Yeah.
That's the colour.
Or the tinsage, Jen, is also like an army colour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can cook everything out, get the beautiful flavour in, and then we could add some
spinach, parsley as well, a bit of parsley flavour.
That's it, and or some extra lovely frozen peas. And then blitz the living life out of it, and it's vibrant and beautiful.
Yeah, and I think if you make a pea soup, frozen peas are a brilliant thing to use.
Yeah.
You know, want om varse aartjies te gaan koop, it's quite difficult these days to get them fresh, unless you've got a whole garden full. And
exactly.
You know, that will be fair. But frozen peas are brilliant to make, and it is like really vibey green colour.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And always save a few for the end, because things do change colour with cooking.
Clever.
With cooking.
All right,
and
but I
I
love the spinach and the parsley tip in there.
Yeah.
Okay, add the green ingredient. Claudia, I hope that answers your question. Good luck in making that pea soup green. One more question. Remember, you can still call us. Our lines are open, 0214309881. Tebogo Johannes Motwa, also via Facebook, says, are there recommended ingredients for cakes or even ones I can use to make cupcakes and muffin mixes that will work? So recommended ingredients for cakes and even ones that I can use. So interesting that you can put into your cupcakes, obviously.
Is he talking about the recipe?
I think it's a mixture.
Is he talking about because normally you've got your flour, your dry ingredients, a bit of baking powder, a bit of salt. Then there's wet ingredients like eggs, milk, bietjie butter of olie. That is the normal thing. And then you can add whatever you like.
But you need that all to balance out. But also, I kind of thought sometimes people see a cake recipe, a big cake like a red velvet or something, and they want to convert it and bring it down. And that's where the danger happens, because if you've got egg whites into it, I wouldn't use that for a cupcake, because it will collapse by the time you pull it out of your whatever. So if you're going to convert from a whole cake recipe, use something that clitzes butter and milk together, not butter, milk, butter and sugar, together for more structure.
Right.
In that.
All right. Well, we have another caller on the line. Good morning, Arlene.
Good morning.
Hello,
Yes.
Arlene.
I love the show.
Thank you very much.
so
We love you.
Do you just love him?
Yeah, I think it's
Thank you, Arlene. Thank you.
I love all of you. And Jenny, I just love you. I watch you with Dresser and...
There's so much love. There's so much love.
And Anel with your
Arlene, what is your question this morning?
Okay. My question is, I always make a fillet steak in a pastry. There's a name for it, but I can't get it right now.
Beef Wellington.
Okay, beef Wellington.
Wellington, thank you. And okay, I do sear the beef and then I let it rest. And then I roll it in the pastry and bake it. But when it comes out, why is the pastry wet?
You need to make like a duxelle. That's what they call it. It's a fancy word. Duxelle.
Mushrooms.
So it's mushrooms, very, very finely chopped mushrooms that you cook in a bit of butter in a pan. In dan is it basies is smear, like a paste.
Yeah.
And then you have to roll your meat in there. And if you can, put like Parma ham or something around it as well, just to cover it from the pastry. Want dan gaan die pastry nie nat maak, so nat raak nie.
Exactly.
It's going to get a little bit wet, but not...
But you could also use the duxelle if you want. That's your lovely mushroom paste, and then you wrap it in a pancake.
Oh yes, that's the other one.
Pancake,
Yes.
because then the pancake absorbs the juice.
Really?
So it's the barrier between that. Because mushrooms have got also very high water content, so you cook that out.
Yeah.
But a pancake around it.
Right. So for beef Wellington, you need to have that bit of an extra layer between your meat and the barrier.
Yes.
Right, ladies. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aileen. I really appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Have a lovely day. Thank you, lovely ladies. That was awesome.
you.
I had a question, but I'll save it for the next time, because it's got to do with quinoa and lentils. And I want to
But
know
now
how
you've
to...
made us very curious.
We'll get into it. We'll unpack it soon because I'm trying to eat a little bit more healthy lately as well. But that was our culinary hotline bling, ting, 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 with these two lovely ladies. It's your Wednesday morning.
Now, whether you're looking for the rich texture of woven rugs, something contemporary with some South African flair, or even a splash of colour for the kids' playroom, then Heirloom South Africa's rug and decor collection will leave you spoiled for choice. Now, what goes into making these handcrafted pieces, you may be asking? Well, we went behind the scenes at their warehouse in Elsish River to meet the colourful faces behind the craft.
The idea for Heirloom, it really started when our little boy Jack, he was starting to crawl, and we had Oregon pine flooring, which was really tough on his little knees, so we had to go and search for a rug, which is when we realized there was a real gap in the market.
So Heirloom has evolved out of a 3-decade-old family business. Our staff complement are mainly from the area around our warehouse, which is in Elsies River, which is not a great part of Cape Town. It's an area that is often flooded with gang violence.
And as we started to expand the decor offering in South Africa, we really saw that we were surrounded by skills that we had no idea about, which is amazing. The inherent skills, the willingness to learn and the capacity to learn new skills has been incredible.
It has. We've managed to get a few diamonds out of the rough there.
I'm Auntie Louise, and I am a weaver, and I love working with my hands. I started weaving when I was fairly young. Our neighbor had a daughter. She was in a wheelchair, and then I would take her with a wheelchair down the road, and we would go to the association. And as time went on, they allowed me to help, and that's the first time that I've learned how to weave. I first started at Heirloom, and I started here as being the tea girl and the cleaner. And I kind of like making tea for David. I still do it. And then one day I went into his office with his tea, and I saw the rug on the floor. And I said to him, "Oh, this is smart. Where did you get it?" He said, "Auntie, where? What?" I said, "This. Where did you get this?"
One morning I was sitting having tea, and Auntie Louise came into the office, and I had a sample that I'd brought back from a trade show in Germany. And that sample was made in India, and Auntie Louise, as she put down the tea, mentioned in passing that she could make it.
I said, "I can do this." He said, Auntie, can you? I said, yes, I can weave, I can spin, I can. He looked at me and he said, really, Auntie? I said, yes. First asked me what I need. I explained to him. He went out, he came back with the frame and the material, and I made a small hand one for him, and then it started just growing from there.
And we've developed product around that, which in the past we might have looked to bring in from the subcontinent. We're now developing ourselves here.
I've had quite a few challenges when I first started with this, because first of all it was going from small to big, and to learn how, like, when to pull or when not to pull, when do they stretch or when they don't stretch, and how they tangle, how they untangle, and that was very challenging for me. But I'm proud of myself, I did it.
I'm Anthony, and I love my job, and I love to help the people. Heirloom is a very good company to work with. If the carpet came in, I look first in the carpet and I saw it. And then I take my stuff and then I prepare it. I can do any size what a customer wants, any circles or whatever, I do it. I learn a lot with Heirloom.
Other people in the warehouse are incredible woodworking-wise and metalworking-wise. So it's about taking those different skills and coming together as a team, and I think that's really where our strength lies.
I've always been a tinkerer, and I was like making my own decor furniture and stuff like that, and David approached me to come work for him. We started a little workshop over here. Myself and Thomas work very, very closely together. I've taught him a lot along the line. I've taught him to do some welding and turning work and stuff like that on the lathe.
One of the major challenges we've had is in many ways South Africa is not geared up for small business. There could be more support both for young entrepreneurs and for helping in the skills development. The bureaucracy is often a major challenge with small owner-managed businesses. From a time-consuming point of view, it can just be incredibly frustrating.
I'm Thomas Denier, I'm the workshop assistant, and I really love working here. Paul is a great man to work with. He actually learned me a lot. When I started there, I was working storeman assistant. Since then, I've learned a lot.
I think teaching people skills is extremely important, especially in this country. We actually lack skill, and that is one of our main goals and our aim at Heirloom, is to uplift people and show them that they can do certain things.
I love doing metalwork, especially welding. About 3 months ago, I started my own business at home doing metalwork.
I would say one of my greatest challenges was when David came to me and asked me to build a pop-up shop. I said, fine, I can do it. And then he said, okay, well, you only have 2 weeks to do it. And then the materials to make it came like a week late. And we still got it done. We put in a couple of extra hours and stuff like that. And we got the pop-up shop done, and we got product done for the pop-up shop as well, so and all turned out fine.
It was a great achievement for me to see something that I was part of being successful.
Heirloom started off as almost a side project in the family business and grew organically and pretty quickly over the last few years.
In terms of upskilling of our employees, you can give someone a job, but if you can then upskill them and justify paying them more through the value that they're adding to a certain product, an item that they've handmade, a certain skill that they have to offer, then that's when they can really start empowering themselves. And I think that is the end goal.
And I guess that's been the sort of succession of the family business, and linked to that is some of the guys who've been working for the family business for decades, really. Some of their children are now coming into Heirloom and working for us. Yeah, there's a real kind of sense of familial spirit in the business.
We're a small business at the end of the day, but employing the few people that we do, that is supporting a couple of families, and really every life that you can touch matters. And our only hope is that we can grow larger and impact more lives positively, and that's the end goal, really.
While specializing in rugs that are locally produced and internationally sourced, Heirloom has a wide range of rugs to suit not only your style, but also your pocket. Now get your hands on one now, as they are offering Expresso viewers an exclusive 25% off when you spend 500 Rand or more on any of their rugs. Use the code Expresso discount at the checkout to receive this amazing offer, valid until September the 30th, 2018.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we connect with Nikki Bush, and this time we are talking about the effect your child's food has on their brain development.
Then we're going to get one final performance from this gorgeous angel. Liz Ogumbo is in your Feel Good studio one more time. Stick around.
It's the food lover's dream escape to Rome returned from just 6,700 Rand with Travelstart's gourmet Italian getaway. Summon the Eternal City as your chance to dine out on the town, from breakfast espresso to linguine, fettuccine or pesche al forno, and if there's room, maybe a torta de cioccolato. Go all out Italian with the Rome return flights from just 6,700 Rand for travel during September and October 2018. Just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with Travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply.
Okay. Why does it sound different, Nelson?
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, this morning, Nikki Bush joins us in studio to talk about the importance of a healthy diet and how it affects your child's brain.
All right, we are back with our creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And we continue with the topic of how eating the right type of food can help your children cope better in the classroom. Nikki, once again, thank you. Welcome back. Very, very important topic, something that I'm passionate about as well, making sure that my kids eat healthy meals, because I know that it plays such a vital role. But what are some of the things that gets in the way of them eating healthy foods?
We don't sit down together and eat breakfast together anymore, Ewan. And there's a lot of fast foods on the run. So if you open a lot of school lunch boxes, which is the additional snack that comes after 2 hours when the breakfast has already been digested and now they need some more energy to focus for what comes on after first break or second break, often those lunch boxes are filled with high sugary drinks, high salt snacks, with lots of bad oils in them as well. So we need to look at what's going on in those lunch boxes too. So packing your children a nutritious lunchbox is very, very important, and teaching them how to drink water.
Yes, yes.
You know, the brain is made up of 80% water, and the first organ to dehydrate in the body is actually the brain. I'm sure you remember when you get very, very dehydrated, how irritable and ratty you become.
Well, even now.
So if you want children to be happier, make sure they drink enough water, and they need food that's going to sustain them. So, you know, whether it's chicken strips, biltong, nuts, dried fruits, fruit, cheese, eggs, you know, things that have got some substance to them versus a packet of chips, for example. And of course, kids are going to love to eat those things. Limit tuck shop. You know, tuck can be a once a week treat, so to speak.
Friday.
But not an everyday thing. And teaching kids to eat good food that tastes good, you know, it's an acquired thing. It happens over time.
It needs to happen. And I think, can I just, I don't mean to gloat, but I've ticked the water drinking box with my kids. It's amazing. Whenever we go to friends for a braai maybe or so, they always ask for water, which is amazing. And we always take a water bottle with us wherever we go.
Well, here's a little tip. It's something that I've done for years in my home. I still do it today, even though my kids are not little. If you want to make water accessible, fill bottles, glass bottles or plastic bottles, and keep them in the fridge so that when somebody is thirsty, they know they can just run to the fridge and grab a bottle. And you'll suddenly find they drink a whole lot more water because they don't have to get a glass, go to the tap, and pour it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've actually put on, a big kind of container with water on my kitchen cupboard with a little valve, obviously, and that's a very exciting thing for them because they can operate it themselves. Exactly. So they go and pour themselves water. Nikki, I think it's great talking about this subject, but final words of advice for our viewers out there. How do we get it right? What needs to go into the planning?
A lot of it is planning, exactly what you've just said. Preparation is key. And I do this kind of preparation on a Sunday night for the week.
Yeah.
What's in your fridge? What's in your freezer? In fact, I have a book called Back to School Sanity Savers, which is filled with 12 recipes that are easy to make, kids love them, and they're all freezable.
Okay.
If you know there's always a meal in the freezer, if you have a day that goes awry, you know you've got something for supper that is going to be good for your kids. So even if your kids want to eat leftovers for breakfast, that's better than eating a high-carb something that doesn't have enough fibre, that doesn't have enough fluid. And remember flora. The probiotics are very important because your gut health is very linked to brain health.
That's it.
That's where all your happiness hormones come from. Your serotonin, 95% of your happiness hormones are found in the gut, and 70% of your immune system comes from your gut.
Brilliant.
So let's teach our kids to eat well.
Let's do that. Where can people get hold of that ebook? Just very quickly.
On nikkibush.com.
Easy like that. nikkibush.com is where it's at. So make a conscious effort to prepare your meals and make sure that your children eat the right foods.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, team. Now, let's make our Wednesday, like we do every Wednesday, our wash day. And we all love our clothes to be soft and comfortable. And there is no denying that fabric conditioning plays a very important role in that process. However, there are some facts that should be taken into consideration to ensure that you take the very best care of your garments. We've got some great tips for you. Let's kick it off with MAC Fabric Conditioner, which of course adds that finishing touch to wash days. It gently softens your fabrics, removes static, brightens colors, and deposits a beautiful fragrance through its fragrance pearls that pop as you move for a beautiful, long-lasting fragrance.
Now let's use the fabric conditioners, which are oil-based, which also helps to lubricate fibers, making them feel softer and more comfortable to wear. Now, MAC Fabric Conditioner also contains fragrance pearls to keep garments smelling fresh from wash to wash, and a fabric conditioner should never be poured directly onto fabrics, as this may cause staining. So always dissolve fabric conditioner in a tub before loading garments, and when washing in a machine, the fabric conditioner will be flushed into the drum automatically, so it will have been dissolved completely before coming into contact with the wash load.
All right, so now let's move on to those nylons and synthetics when it comes to underwear, and they respond well to fabric conditioning, keeping garments static, free and comfortable to wear, and you want them to be comfortable, obviously. For first point of contact, always use MAC Fabric Conditioner after every wash. And to prolong the life of tights, always soak in a solution of fabric conditioner after hand washing, and fabric conditioners may reduce the flame resistance of certain fabrics, so keep that in mind. And this is why we always recommend that wash care instructions are strictly followed. We said every week, for specialized fabric types especially.
That's right, and something we all have and need to focus on is also cleaning your sportswear, and they contain lycra, which is designed to keep moisture away from your skin, and those should be washed with care. Now, after a hand wash, give your garments a thorough rinse to remove all traces of detergent and dirt, and fill the tub with cool water. Then add a dose of MAC Fabric Conditioner and swish around to ensure that it is completely dissolved in the water, and then add one garment at a time and ensure that they are completely immersed, and at least allow for it to soak for a few minutes, and then do not rinse again. Simply wring it out and you can hang it to dry.
And next, we're going to talk about washing with a twin tub. After rinsing to remove all traces of detergent, fill the main tub with clear water and add MAC Fabric Conditioner. Then reload the rinsed garments one at a time and allow them to swirl around in the tub. Move them to the spinner to extract any excess water. Really is so easy when you know how, thanks to MAC Fabric Conditioner.
That's right, and MAC makes your wash day a little easier, and we're also making it easy for you to win a MAC hamper every week. Now, to stand a chance of winning, SMS the keyword MAC, that's M-A-Q, to 33728. Those SMSs are charged at R1.50, and no free SMSs apply. Those T's and C's can be found on our website, that's expressoshow.com, and this week's giveaway ends at midnight this Friday.
MAC washing powder works really hard on tough stains, so you don't have to. Making it easy for you to shine.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're with the gorgeous Liz Ogumbo, who you might think is a supermodel, but she's of course got a gorgeous voice as well, and she's been blowing us away the entire morning. She's going to do that one more time right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. For the freshest peri-peri prawns and espetadas, dine out tonight in Mozambique with Travelstart's return flights to Maputo from under 3,300 Rand. East African spice meets the Indian Ocean's bounty over an open fire. It's a food lover's getaway to glorious Mozambique for under 3,300 Rand. Another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
Wait, are you fine with the levels? Yeah, I'm fine.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us. We have beaten back that hump day blues with, of course, Liz Ogumbo, has been just so magical to host this morning and a little distracting for our staff, I have to say. Nelson, dude, thank you so much as well. You've been amazing on the keys. Take a little bow. Just before we let you go, I've been dying to ask you, like, how do you pull it all off? You're an entrepreneur, fashion designer, incredibly well studied. What drives this kind of multifaceted person that you become? Do you have a first love? Is it music? Is it fashion? Is it business? Where's your heart?
I think it's the KenSoul. It's my KenSoul. KenSoul is my Kenyan soul, and I think, like we said earlier, I think everything that's from here is like from the truth, like the truth from the inside out. Everything from the soul is the truth, and I think that that's what it is, and I'm self-taught for everything I do, actually. Wow. I didn't go to school for music, I didn't go to school for fashion, I've got wine too. I've got Liz Ogumbo wine launching in June in your store, so check it out. I just love what I love, I've got so much passion, and I just thank God that I am the way that I am.
And you have this platform, but I think it's a massive message to send out there. We've got one more performance. I loved looking at the music video online. Can you tell us what you're going to close it out with and what's it all about?
So what you know about her is about what you know about her, because you think you know about her, but you ain't got nothing about her and her information. So I think we're living in a very pop-driven culture where I feel like womanhood has almost been, we're almost losing it, and we're almost having to redefine ourselves, but how, you know? So what is a woman, or what is a beautiful woman today? I mean, how do you keep up? What do you do, what do you not do? what do you wear? What do you not wear? Are you wearing a dress like me, you know? How do you speak? How do you talk? How do you present yourself? How do people look at you? What do they feel when you walk in, when you talk, when you do what you do as a woman? You know, so I think for me, this definitely is a shout out to the women and also a shout out to the guys and the people who think they can define the woman because of her weave or because of her high heels or because of her legs or because of her nyash. So it's just about remove everything. Just remove everything and try to look at this as an open canvas and say, okay, I want to learn who this woman is. Let's start again on a clear canvas. So this is an opportunity to redefine the woman. And I think it's really up to you, and I think it's also up to the woman.
Oh, ain't nobody defining you but you, and you are something truly special. Thank you so much for joining us, blessing us this morning. Nelson, you've been an absolute wonder to watch on the keys as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's close it out. One more performance. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
What you know about her? Who's that girl? I said, who's that girl? What you know about her? 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 Who's that girl? I said, who's that girl? Her eyes glow with life, her smile elevates, her heart beats with love, her love radiates. Look into her soul of true spirituality. Yeah, she smiles with deep sincerity. The legs that's to wear, the curls on her hair, the way that she walks, them legs that make you talk, the way that she walks with real integrity. In her future, all I see is prosperity. What you know about her? 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 Who's that girl? I said, who's that girl? What you know about her? 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 What you know? 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 Impress, her hips never lie. Her finesse will truly make you sigh. She's clothed in strength and dignity. Her price is so for more than ruby. When you're down, you'll find in her a friend. Her sass, her smile, her love never ends. She comes with love and never any harm. She remains that woman from Proverbs 31. What you know about her? 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 Who's that girl? I said, who's that girl? What you know about her? What you know about her? What you know about? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about her? What you know? 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 Ooh. What you know about her?
Wow.
Thank
Beautiful.
you,
Absolutely
gorgeous thing.
amazing.
Awesome, eh? I'm still trying to get over the fact that her microphone stand was taller than me. Just the microphone was above my head, man.
It's okay. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Well, still to come, there's so much more to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, but we'll have to tell you about that tomorrow.
I love you so much, guys. Be safe.
Bye.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another Feel Good production.